All right. So as we get going tonight, let's go over what happened last time. Last time, you guys were all summoned back from your exile. The Red Rocks had turned the tables on the Granite Backs, and you guys were basically sold into slaves and sent into your year of exile, where you all spent time training and becoming honest-to-goodness adventurers. You came back to Elinos, summoned by Khalid Graniteback, and you were going to meet him as an estate, but you got sidetracked along the way by a crisis at the Dematopolis farm that you'd saved when you were just commoners. And so you pitched in, encountered some very nasty Fae, took a brief trip to the Fae Wild itself, and found Filbert, who we don't know how or why, but the Fae resurrected him, and he'd been living there for at least 2.5 centuries. And
it's because he kissed a dryad.
Maybe. So he came out. You guys headed over to the Iron Fist estate and found out that clan patriarch Orin was set free from his imprisonment. Still has a trader's mark, but it's a redeemed trader's mark, and now has an axe for a hand. And his and Khalid's scheme is to found an adventurers guild in this time of need in the Empire, so that the people will once again fall in love with the Granite Backs. You'll be able to gain back your reputation, and it's a great way to work undercover while you're trying to figure out how to put the Red Rocks in the ground. So, that's where we ended up last time. Let's talk about what you guys decided to do over the course of this next week. First thing I want to settle is, where are you guys going to stay now that you're founding a guild? You can stay at the Iron Fist estate, but it's kind of far away. You can rent a room at the inn, and the innkeeper has decided he will give you a very good deal to stay there because you saved it. Or you could rent a small house in town. The estate will have 50 gold pieces a month in expenses to feed everybody, and this is assuming that characters are doing what they can to help out. So like Grummy, if she's out, will hunt and bring back stuff. So we don't need to worry about saying, hey, I want to do this to cut the price down. This is already considering that. So you could get a house in town and self-support for about 100 gold pieces a month. Or the innkeeper will give you a room and board for 125.
Wait, say that again?
50 gold a month to stay at the estate because it's already a house that's owned. You just have to pay for food. $100 if you want to rent a house. It would be your house. You'd be on your own. That would be 100 gold a month. And then the innkeeper will rent you rooms because you saved his place for 125.
And the inn would be better quality than the house?
Yes, the inn would be nicer accommodations than the house. The house is a house for 100 gold pieces a month that could house 7 people is a bit of a wreck.
Yeah. And that's 150 for all 7.
125.
Or 125 for all 7.
Correct.
So for 25 gold more, we support the inn that we saved.
Yeah.
It's slightly more, but
We also could. I mean, how busy is the inn?
It's busy.
So we have a higher chance of running into somebody that needs help.
yeah.
Or
Would he allow us to advertise?
Absolutely.
Would he allow us to have a table?
He wouldn't allow you to have a table. But you guys as regulars who are almost always, some of you are there, you'd kind of have that regular table that people who are frequenters of inns would have. So
Oathig definitely has a spot.
yeah, you'd have a spot, and if you're thinking do we have a spot we can conduct business at, it would double as that.
No. I
feel
meant
like
do we have a spot?
Oh yeah.
Our table.
Yeah, that's your table, and everybody pretty much knows it. I mean, you'll sit near it if somebody you don't know wanders in, unless you want to be jerks about it, but, you don't have to.
I feel like inn is a very lucrative...
yeah, I think it'll. I mean, obviously it's going to cost more money up front, but at the same time, I think it'll have a higher return.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that you're not thinking this too, but it's like, it is more money, but it's well invested.
Right, that's what I'm saying. It'll have a higher
Yeah.
return.
Yep, absolutely. So I just threw the map up for you guys. I'll reveal a little bit more of the inn now, since it sounds like you are going to be staying there. That's where we're gonna do. So basically, he's going to give you 2 of the big rooms that have a lot of beds. He has asked, since you do have other accommodations, if there's something big going on in town, if you wouldn't mind slipping out to the estate for a night.
Yeah, that's fine. As long as there's notice. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I don't have an issue with that.
Because typically he doesn't sell his rooms out. They do great in the beverage and food department, but he doesn't sell his rooms out real typically. So where all those beds are at the end, on that top one, you'll have the 2 end rooms at the end of the hallway. There's a small bathroom privy underneath the ladder back to there. Yep, those 2. And so you guys can, for now, I mean, you could all fit in one room for now, but he's willing to give you 2 so that you can spread out a little bit. And then depending on how busy the inn is, maybe you could even double up and not have to go back home. And then there's other stuff. He gives you kind of the run of the place too, so there's, places to go and get your own blankets and things like that, because they're not going to take care of your rooms for you. So you'll
We
have
have to keep them clean ourselves.
Yeah, you got to keep them clean yourselves. But you can help yourself to the kitchen and all that type of stuff. So
Okay.
that's kind of your base camp for now.
Nice.
Yep.
I like it.
Cool. So then I will deduct, or if somebody wants to pop open the notes, I did add a column for guild expenses and whatnot. You can crank off 125 gold for your first month at the inn.
Is Andy already on it?
Okay.
Yeah, I can take care of it.
Wouldn't
Okay.
surprise me.
The other thing we're doing is we are buying 4 sets of grappling hooks, rope, a couple shovels, a couple picks, a couple hammers, a sledgehammer.
Didn't what's his name already buy some of that stuff?
Yes. There is 200 gold worth for you guys to spend, basically. Basically, he's bought a bunch of equipment, 200 gold's worth, so however you guys want to divide that up and turn that into equipment, I don't care. I'm not going to micromanage it. So
Okay.
if you want 4 climbers kits, a bunch of shovels and all that, absolutely go ahead and grab them.
Okay.
And then, somebody add it up and deduct how much gold that cost off of what's there in the fundage. Let's see. So where we're at. So that's the first order of business. Math. So you're going to make posters and hang them up for the guild. I won't make you make a calligraphy roll for this. So we'll just say you take your time, you do a good job, and then you start hanging up posters around town. That's going to take you about 2 full days. That leaves you 5 days to make inroads with local businesses, the government, and things like that. And then you can, if you want, you can spend some extra money on promotions if you guys think you want to do that.
Probably.
Yeah, I feel like we would.
Yeah, especially since Kren don't typically use adventurers.
It's true. It's the rise of the adventurer again is really only because the army has been so overwhelmed with everything going on with it that it's given a place for stuff like this to start going on again.
What's our standing with the military?
It's a very neutral standing right now. They respect the things you've done in the past, but there was a lot of to-do around you guys, so a lot of people have distanced themselves from you, and there's a pretty divided camp. Some people believe the lies. Some people are like, there's no way. There's just no way.
This might be a long-term thing, but Othig, with your contacts, might want to work on bridging that relationship so that, first of all, the people know that we're on the side, that we're just not just some upstarts that are, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That we're on good relationship with the military. It'll
While
The 2 that helped us in the bar are with us, quote unquote, or not?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that? I forgot I didn't have my earbuds in, so this first chunk of the recording is going to sound
the
really
2
weird.
that I knew from my military days are still with us, or not really?
Skog and Racky. You haven't seen them since you've gotten back to town.
Okay.
But you've only been back to town a few days.
But I would know how to get in contact with them if I wanted to.
Hold on a sec, guys. My stuff's all tangled up. I can't hear anything anybody's saying at the moment.
Well, in that case, we talk about how we're going to take him down.
Take Mike down.
He won't know until he listens to the recording, though.
Okay. I will listen to the recording now. Thank you, T. So, let's see. Skog and Racky, you haven't seen him since you've gotten to town, but you just don't know. So you could spend some time trying to track those two clowns down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you want to spend some money on advertisement? You guys have 350 gold that you can use for other things.
225.
Yep. I was just going to say, you did just drop to 125 on your accommodations.
I would say that we would.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say to do good advertisement would probably cost another 10. That'd be extra posters, maybe hiring a few kids to run around and talk things up to do some advertising. And then if you wanted to do a really good job, you could drop 20 on it.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's only going to be 10, I say go for it.
I was thinking 50.
There you go.
I think there's a point where it doesn't matter how much money you throw at it. It's
Well, I mean, I'm thinking about like stupid Hollywood, where like the PR budget is like half of the movie budget.
I mean, it's up to you guys. If you drop a ton on it, I'll find some way to make it work.
Could we just plan to put like 25 each month towards it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. Let's make a note in the expenses about that then. That's going towards that. So, and I think that's it. So you're spending your time doing your job. And here's what happens. While you're at the government building, you walk in, and at one of the counters, kind of arguing with one of the city officials, is Drekken Redrock and Achilleos.
I want to offer to do any jobs for him if he had something for the Adventurers Guild.
Oh. Drekken turns around and here's what you say, and not realizing who it is. You say it kind of behind him, and he stops. He stands up and he, Adventurers Guild, what the? And he turns around and starts laughing. Achilleos turns around and just looks straight pissed off. He looks mad, but he's not doing anything. He's with his boss, so he's being chill. Make a persuasion check.
Boss.
I'm gonna ruin this immediately.
Oh, no. Don't.
You're not there, Adam.
Where are we?
You're not there. This is Mav just
okay.
wandering around
Okay.
town.
All right, cool. Never mind.
So Mav, you make your offer. He turns around and I'm gonna roll an insight against that. Oh, okay, that's pretty close, but not good enough. He eyes you up and down, and he says, "So, you appear not to be holding any grudges against me. I will take that into consideration. Now, excuse me, we have business to attend to." And they turn back around and are now ignoring you.
Oh, man.
Is there anything else you'd like to do? That's funny.
That's awesome.
I will just continue on with what I was doing.
Okay, make a perception check for me.
Great. Why didn't I bring somebody with me?
9. You're not quite sure what kind of business that they're yelling about and talking about, because you're not really paying that much attention, but you do hear something about land purchases. And let's see, Filbert, you're out looking for herbs, right?
So that'll be probably after day 1 and 2. So first day he's probably going to spend making sure he's not in the Fae.
Okay, so we'll spend a whole day doing that, and then you're going to go out with Tabby for a day or two, right?
Yep, and go shopping. So I'm picturing kind of that George of the Jungle scene where he buys a nice suit and he wants to look good.
Okay.
I put the image in our chat, just the I look darn good. He's going to try and look as normal as possible. However, I don't know if you want to roll for that or not. If he has no idea what normal is, but he's gonna try.
Okay.
So,
I mean,
and then the other 5 days would be skill stuff.
normal won't be too hard because you see what everybody else is wearing. So it's pretty easy to pick up, and you're not the derpy kid you were before. You're a completely different kind of derp, but blending in is something you got pretty good at.
Yep. So he would like to look appropriate for his known to himself station. So he would like something that's a little higher end, a little nicer. He would kind of have no idea how to acquire money, but he would ask for his allowance.
He'd go get his pedals back.
Well, no, he knows he has to use money here. He knows the pedals are only good in the Fae. But
so you're out with Tabby doing some stuff. You get caught up with the family. You spend actually way more time with Orin than you expected to, and it's I would say it's probably 2 days worth of time you spend with him over the course of the week. That you tick off 2 days of time with him, and then there's something that happens when you're out with Tabby. You're talking to her about something, and then all of a sudden you don't know where she is.
is this the normal she went invisible thing, or the she got sucked back into the Feywild thing?
You don't know.
Oh, good.
Okay, so moving on. Othig.
Yep. This is semi-normal, right? Like, this isn't abnormal.
This is not abnormal.
Yeah.
Othig, you're doing PR work for the guild too, but you're focusing more on just talking to people around town and working with the military. So, about how much time you want to dump into that?
This was me going around and trying to talk up for jobs, right?
Yep.
I kind of wanted to split my time pretty evenly, so I guess, as much as I could do this, because the other part of the time, I should say the other majority part of my time, I wanted to be helping Thanak with the project that we're working on. And then, obviously, like, the third would be trying to reconnect with my war buddies.
Okay. So let's say you spend 3 days doing PR work, talking through the militaries, and it's a big town to cover, and doing the other little things with that, trying to find Skog and Rocky. And you'll spend some time doing that. So you'll get 3 days worth of that in, and then you'll get 4 days worth of smithing that you can work with Thanak on. So, but something happens while you're out. You're talking to some of the old military people, and you realize that there's very few people that have a bad opinion of the Granite Backs. Most people just don't care. It's dwarven politics inside the Empire, and since most of the people inside the Empire are human, that they're just like, whatever. Dwarves are whatever. And there's still a bunch of people that are, very friendly to you. So you find a few of those, and you find out that the Red Rocks are putting pressure on a lot of local farmers in the East to sell them their land. They're paying really well, and they haven't strong-armed anyone yet, but there are some folks who are refusing to sell to them. So that's the rumor that you hear. And I can post that again later, the rumors that you guys pick up. But basically, they're trying to buy up land out east around their keep. That's out on one of the plateaus. So that's what it sounds like they're doing. And then Thanak. So here's when I said you had other things going on. I wanted to know if you wanted to take some time to read the Fae book you got.
I totally forgot I got a Fae book.
Yep.
I totally forgot. Yeah,
okay.
Definitely.
That'll take.
Ask who had that.
Yeah, that'll take you because you have a very high intellect. 2 days of your time to get through, which it's a big book. So while you're doing that, make a Constitution saving throw for me.
That's never good.
Oh.
You get extraordinarily tired while reading this book, to the point where you pass out and have a dream. And in the dream, everything is blue and green with rivers of calming gray running through it. It's like a very impressionistic oil painting. It's kind of how it feels, except there aren't those sharp lines you get with an oil painting. Everything blends really nicely.
Okay.
There are figures standing around in the dream, but they are very intangible. and you hear the sound of raindrops, and it sounds like somebody's running through puddles giggling. You feel very happy and relaxed and at peace in this presence, and then you hear a chorus of voices say, "It is coming," and you wake up screaming in terror. The phrase, "it is coming," and when they said it to you and the emotion that was conveyed with that in your dream was enough to make you make an intelligence saving throw for a point of terror. That's enough. It wasn't a real high DC because it wasn't super invasive. The DC was 10, so you're good. You are shook to your core by this dream. You have no idea what was going on or what was happening in it, but it was scary. It was scary beyond all reason. It was worse than Yzma. It was terrifying.
Would I have any insight for this incident?
Yeah, that's definitely something that at some point relatively quickly I would speak with Phil about.
Okay.
Just to corroborate the story, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. So you go and you share the dream with Phil, and Phil, you would immediately recognize this. He was hanging out with Dances Through Raindrops.
Yeah. Okay.
So Tony doesn't have a whole lot of insight to this event, but I do.
I'd be able to tell him a piece of my dream, right?
Yeah, you'd be able to talk to him. Filbert would share with you that while he was in the Fae, like, he's only got about 50 years that don't feel dreamlike that you just experienced, that feel almost exactly like you experienced. About 200 of his years there were spent in a state like that. And you just described to him one of the greater Fae's domains, and she calls herself Dances Through Raindrops. Dances between raindrops? I'd have to look up Filbert's dream again, but it's something like that. Basically, it's the concept and the idea that she runs around and dances between the rain.
Oh,
the Lady of Air.
Like without actually getting wet?
Yes. Yep, she's the Lady of Air. And he would share with you that he has also had moments where he had a very strong sense of dread that something was coming as well while he was in the Fae. He'd be able to share that with you. Yep.
So,
the Lord of Nightmares.
Coming to the Fae or coming here to the Prime through the Fae, or
coming to everywhere.
Unrelated to the Fae. Just
coming to everywhere.
Well, it's no bueno. All right.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
they all seem real worried about him.
And he would also very clearly communicate to you that that's where you was dreaming of the deep Fae. It's like most people know about the normal Fae where plants are weird and everything wants to eat you. This was a dream of someplace even deeper in the Fae than that.
Okay.
So let's see. Mav and Othig, while you guys are about town doing your things, there's a moment... Oh, he doesn't have his headset on. But there's a moment where Filbert comes just running by, screaming, "Tabby! Where are you?" And then just keeps on running.
Okay.
Tony, make a perception check to see if you find Tabby.
Okay. I can do that. That's a thing I can do.
Nope.
Maybe not.
Are we supposed to know what that is?
I've explained that Tabby's my girlfriend. She's a fairy. Or, no, she's not a fairy. Don't call her a fairy. Right? She'll make you sleep. She's a sprite. She's a sprite.
Oh, sprite.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But none
you
of
don't get those wrong.
But none of you have ever seen Tabby.
Okay.
And so now...
Short for something?
She's my fashion coordinator, my girlfriend, and my shopping partner. She's my BFF.
Yeah. And so now Filbert is running around town looking for Tabby, and no one knows who he's talking about.
But I do have... am I dressed nicely at this point, or no?
You are dressed nicely at this point.
Okay.
You picked out some very nice clothes that you're pretty sure she approved of, because it was right about the time that she disappeared.
Wonderful. I assume I look something like this.
Your images aren't popping up for me.
I don't know why.
It's weird.
It is weird. It's probably because of the way I'm linking them.
Yeah, it's because that's why.
Is it? Well, anyway,
You're-
that's Joe
you're-
Wilkinson.
Yeah.
Okay.
The character I picture when I
So-
take this over.
Mav, if you want to spend 4 days crafting on something, you can crank out 4 days worth of crafting points. Filbert, you're at 4. Othig, 4. And Thanok, 5.
What's 4 times 7? 28?
Okay.
20?
Yep, 4 times 7 is 28.
So here's the thing. I understood the math on this until you wrote it down, and now I don't get it.
Do what I did. Just do what I did. Where'd it go?
Take your proficiency modifier.
The number of days times the proficiency. Okay, I got it. I totally got it. I am terrible at algebra. Terrible.
So I have
If
74 crafting points. Is that my understanding?
Correct.
Thank you.
For whatever skill you were working on.
Oh, that would have been probably split half and half between gathering and making.
If you're just doing your alchemy skill, they count as the same.
Oh, okay, because I have herbalism kit and alchemy supplies separately. Should they not be?
Well, no, yes and no. I don't want to divide it out too much. It's
I'm fine with only having the one. So
you're working in your herbalism that turns into alchemy, or your alchemy that fuels your herbalism, and whatever. It's fine. They're customized rules.
So, if you have a +2 proficiency,
Yep.
and you're doing a skill that you're double proficient in,
Yep.
it'd be 4 times your day.
Yep.
7
Plus your ability score modifier.
Oh, that's right.
Numbers are hard.
Math is hard.
Yep.
So,
You must have a high. You did 5 days.
Wait,
now.
think what's your proficiency?
If you're rolling your tinkering, you have expertise in it, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, and that was double proficient.
Yep. So you should have an extra 10 in there.
Wait, who should?
You should. Shouldn't you?
No, I have a +6 modifier.
I have a +7.
But you use your ability score modifier in there as well.
Yeah. So
you'd
nice.
have 4
Got
plus
it.
your ability score.
Got
Right.
it. Never
The
mind.
one we're trying to figure out is Ryan's
No. Ryan should be right.
at +10.
Mine's right. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know we were even capable of getting a +10 at this level.
Yeah. How do you
I
have
have
a
a
plus
+7
10?
with my double proficient alchemy skills.
Oh wait, hang on. Whoops. No. I
Okay.
did 2 in there. It should be. It should have been 8 times 4 instead of 10 times 4.
Okay.
So, just
Minus 8. Subtract 8 from
Yeah.
the total.
yeah, okay.
yeah.
Okay. And so then you guys can use the charts to craft stuff as well. We don't need to go too deep in that tonight, because I know you two are after working on Orin's arm, and that's going to take a substantial amount
It'll
of
be a
points.
while.
Yep. I don't know what Mav might want to make, but I think the only thing that Phil could make would be maybe one minor healing potion inside of that. Or if you want to save them up, you could start to crank them out.
Yeah,
Matt
I'll
might assist with if he's doing woodworking, he could assist with javelin throwing bazooka fist.
You could. You definitely could bazooka fist.
I could make a propellant for it with alchemy.
I mean, you guys can all pump your points into Orin's arm if you want. We'll,
Spirit of Mega Man, we are not calling it the Axe Buster.
all right.
Yes.
So, moving on then.
How many points are we each sticking into this arm?
Is however many you want.
As many as humanly possible. As many as dwarvenly
I
possible.
was gonna say, man.
I mean, your skill. I mean, the other guy's skill has a lot of wiggle room for RP and fun. Yours is very practical for survival because you can crank out potions. So,
Yeah.
You know,
I'll stick to potions.
yeah, saving your skill points for potions might be helpful, but throwing a few in here and there might not.
Yeah,
be
learning how to make new potions. How much is that going to actually cost, craft point wise?
I don't know yet, and it will definitely depend on what you're trying to do.
Okay.
And it'll be somewhat reflective on like what ability are you trying to give this potion.
Okay.
So, oh dear. Mecha dwarf.
Because I'd say the only first thing that Phil would want to try and learn how to do,
Mhm.
obviously we're not going to be able to do for big, he'd want to learn how to make something that would apply a lesser restoration to a potion at some point.
Okay.
But that's down the line. That'd be the first thing that he would probably functionally look at expanding his potion knowledge.
Okay. And that's only a second level spell, so it wouldn't be that high of a big of a leap. So, all right.
But eventually, the whole water breathing penguin arms thing also sounds really cool.
We can.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Here's my thought on this, and let me know if this is what you had in mind for this. There are probably several projects that I would be worthly.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not necessarily all, because this is the kind of thing that I would probably run into several. We would probably both run into several roadblocks in just mechanics.
Correct.
So I would still spend I think we would still spend the time together coming up with ideas and working on it and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I might spend some of the points that I'm using on something in the meantime.
Okay, that's
Does that
fine.
make sense?
It does, and because we, like when you and I talked about points originally, they were inspiration points towards ideas, not necessarily the ability in the fuel to make stuff. So I would like them to be both. So if you're working on something creative for Orin, and it can find an application that has an overlap for something else, so I'll just toss out a freebie there. You've already figured out how to make the cage, and now you're figuring out how to fling things. You could combine those two ideas. It's like, hey, can we fling that scorpion wrangler thing somehow?
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
You would have already invented two pieces of that, so you wouldn't have to spend as much.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of cumulative. So you can track, well, these are the things I've already done, and then I could spend points to make up the rest of the stuff I haven't figured out. So.
Here's the real question: How do we make his arm into a trebuchet?
You need a counterweight.
You're gonna need a bigger dwarf. That's for sure. So.
Quick question on this thing as well. So if we combine our talents, and this is again future casting, say at some point in time we want to combine my potion skills with Thanek's tinkering skills to reduce the use time on a potion, and it would only probably be able to be a small potion to make it a bonus action instead of an action to use it on another person by making it an injector.
Yes.
You don't want to launch potions at people?
Of course I do, but that's stage 3.
Yes, that is the cockamamie type of stuff I will let you guys do if you make your skills combine. Absolutely.
How fun. Because
Absolutely.
potion grenade sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Captain Planet.
Yeah. I mean, it's functionally it would be just a crossbow with a bigger group.
Bolt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah, and then, I mean, eventually you figure out how to put a propellant inside your potion so people breathe it in, and now you have an area of effect heal
Yeah.
potion. But this heals for less per person.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just so you know, all of these things are already mechanically existent within the alchemist class that's been created.
Yes, I
They're
know.
just ways of taking spells and giving them flavor, giving them mechanics.
Yep.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I knew that the Pathfinder has an alchemist that's like all about like throwing potions.
Yep. Well, I have a sorcerer who's a witch doctor who, instead of casting acid splash, throws toads at people.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just flavor.
Just
So
I mean,
it's re-skinning things, but we're using points to create these things and have some fun with it.
Yep.
Definitely,
Absolutely.
yeah. Okay.
So.
All right, cool.
Things outside our class.
That's the type of stuff I will definitely allow you guys to do. So, all right. That's the wrap up of our downtime. This week it took us about 25 minutes to crank through that.
Oh, also, hey, I forgot. Is there a mage here outside of Achilleos?
Yeah, in town?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's magic users in town. There's a very powerful magic user who keeps a tower pretty far south of town.
How far south?
About a day's
When
walk.
traveling?
Yep.
Okay, who in town would I talk to about the Fae?
About the Fae would probably be the cleric. He'd probably I don't know. Filbert's probably your best expert on the Fae, to be honest.
Well, as far as the tear.
Oh,
We probably shouldn't tell anyone about that.
you could find a scholar or somebody to talk to in town about that. Just I don't have a name for the guy or the gal.
That's fine.
So
that's fine. So I would like to have a hypothetical conversation with a scholar about
make
about
a
tears in the Fae.
Make a deception check since you're trying to have a hypothetical one. You can make it at advantage.
Okay. What?
Andy just posted we could abandon all the adventuring gear and just buy an elephant instead.
What am I doing?
Deception check at advantage. So 13. So you're pretty sure he knows that this is less hypothetical than hypothetical, but you also
use too many.
Yeah. But he also doesn't believe for a moment that you actually walked through a tear in the Fae, so he's trying to process what you're actually getting at. And he tells you that that's not uncommon, but the level of outflow that you experienced is pretty rare. There's usually a tear, a Fae creature comes through for a while, sometimes gets trapped, and every once in a while they'll adapt an environment around them to be more Fae-like, but the way you described it hypothetically, that's a pretty big deal. But they do happen during convergence times, which nobody's talked about there being a convergence recently, so not for over a year anyway. So that's where that's at.
Can I have a meta question for a second?
Sure.
This is where are we timeline wise from our last campaign? Are we a year ahead or a year? Or are we at the same time now?
You're about 6 months past your last campaign.
Okay. Did they know? Like, obviously, Setnovia knows all about the convergences, but did the Kren Empire know anything about the?
Yeah, it was a global crisis. Setnovia was kind of ground zero, and it flared out from there, but it was a global crisis.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So there's about that. So anybody else got any downtime stuff? It should move a little quicker as we get going, but it's fun little flavor things. And we can do a lot of the crafting stuff away from our game time.
Okay.
All right. So your scene opens up tonight with a wretched smell hanging in the air. An odor far worse than is typical in the compost caverns. The mules bay and kick at their handlers. One tosses itself to the ground, attempting to wrestle itself free of its harnesses. Something ahead in the darkness darts between the carts. A shadowy figure, one skilled at hiding. The workers back away. They had all seen it, and they were frightened as well. There's a clatter of tools from one worker's left. He turns and looks. Shovels and sifters and rakes tumble over, knocked out of place by a large, hulking figure. The rest of the workers turn to run, leaving their mules and the worker behind. A dirty, clawed hand reaches out, grabbing him by the shirt. He's yanked backwards into darkness. There's a brief melody of donkey screams, man screams, and the howls of something enthralled by what it's doing, followed by the chorus of silence. So, you guys have been back in town for a while. Othig, to follow up a little bit on your downtime, you asked around for Skog and Raki, but they are away on assignment. They have been fully reconnected with the military. After the rebellion broke out, they signed up for another year. and they haven't returned from their year contract yet.
Do I know where they're did I find out where they're stationed? Can I write to them?
Yeah, you could write to them for sure.
Okay, so I'd spend some time doing that just to kind of reestablish communication with them and let them know our play.
Okay, cool. They are currently stationed up at a military encampment near what's Marisi, which is on the north side of Angel Lake. So they're about 3 days away from you.
Okay.
And you don't get a letter back by time this happens. So you start the next morning out, and you're about to go about your business when you're sitting down to breakfast at the inn, and a pot falls off of a shelf on the wall and smashes on the ground all by itself. And then you look, and your silverware is shaking a little bit on the table, and you're watching the morning ale in your mugs start to do the trembling dance that a shockwave causes, and you realize you're experiencing a minor earthquake. And you hear a couple other crashes, and a few of the early morning guests at the resting house gasp and look around, and then it stops almost as suddenly as it starts. Philbert, sitting in a chair with that nice 6 there, gets nervous about what's going on because it was very unexpected, and poofs over to the other side of the room with his breakfast all huddled up around him because he doesn't want anybody to snag it in another chair.
Sitting at another table.
Just sitting at another table across the room now.
I don't think I'd be huddled. I think I'd just be sitting at another table and that was enough, and I'll just continue eating.
So you guys just experienced a small tremor, which it's been years since you've experienced something like this. Well, maybe not for you, but for everybody else, it's been a long time, and definitely not in this part of the country.
Seems foreboding.
It does. What would you like to do with your morning now?
Does anybody want to? Have we had any contracts come in yet?
You have not had a single contract come in.
Are we in Elinos right now, or are we actually
Yes.
at the Iron Fist Estate?
You're in the inn. So let me move Boop. You're there.
Okay.
Yep.
Do we want to offer? Okay, here's the question. Are there no contracts because there's no work, or are there no contracts because nobody wants to hire us?
You don't quite know. You've heard people talking about stranger events, and there's definitely been more problems with goblin raids, and people are starting to talk about monsters in a way that is unusual for your culture too. But nobody's really come forth with any problems.
What are some of the things that we have heard about that we could maybe go take care of because they're things that are maybe not being taken care of? Is there threat of monsters somewhere close to Elinos that we could maybe just go and dispatch because it's
the most serious thing you've heard about has been there seems to be a pair of lions out east of the Red Rock lands holdings that have been attacking travelers. And the military's kind of surprised by that because they actually travel that road a lot. So that's an area that they still keep a decent eye on. But that's really the gist of it. I mean, somewhere even further past the mesa there. Yep, out that way. So you hear other stories about people being taken by wild griffins and things like that, but nobody's missing from town. So obviously nobody's been taken, but people are starting to talk that way because they're getting nervous about stuff. But the most credible thing that you've heard about is the lions.
Okay.
Well, do we want to? I mean, there's a couple of things we could do. One, we could just be proactive. We can just go start hunting this stuff, without any kind of guarantee of any kind of payment.
And also if we do it, it'd just be more of a public service.
Yeah, or we could, do something very similar, but market it as a freebie type thing. First one's free.
Drug dealers.
Yeah.
I would say that we go take care of the lions, but we don't market it as it's the first one's free. We market it as public goodwill. Like, hey, we're here to help. Here's our contribution. We're going to kill the lions.
Yeah.
That are eating people.
Yeah, and I would say we wouldn't even say anything about it until we came back and just let people know that we took care of it. If we're able to find these things.
All right. So you guys start gearing up to go out to take care of these lions, and you hear the rattling of pots and pans in the kitchen again, and there is a second tremor. Only this one doesn't stop, and it keeps going. And I need you to make dexterity saving throws as pieces of the ceiling start coming down.
Who built this place? Oh.
Fennec grabs on the Mav
And they both get clobbered.
and fell onto Big Harma.
Othig, you managed.
Mav grabs on the Fennec.
You managed to not get clobbered at all. The other three, you guys each get. Oh man, I rolled 3 threes. You each take 3 points of bludgeoning damage as the ceiling pieces do come down on you. Filbert doesn't actually. Another 6. As it's coming down, he looks up and sees it and poofs over to the other side. Make a D20 luck check for me.
Oh no!
What are you doing?
Okay. And
I am fate touched. I, as a reaction, involuntarily face step because Eldrin.
if something scary happens to him, he pops somewhere.
Okay.
So.
But I have to use my reaction, and it's not voluntary where I end up.
Yep.
All right.
So. This tremor goes on for like 4 minutes. As the buildings shake, you hear people outside screaming. There is dust everywhere. The inn is for the most part okay. Chunks of the ceiling came down. There's a large crack in the wall, but it held its own. From the sound... Go ahead.
Sorry, I want to hear the rest of this, but now I'm just thinking, what if instead of us heading out right away first, we maybe just, as a group, go around town and try to assess some damage maybe, and just, out of goodwill, try to help people with whatever kind of damage has just occurred, because that sounded like it was pretty serious.
Doesn't that step on the toes of a business that's running in opposition to us?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I don't want to... Who would be... That was one of the things that I was actually thinking before you were saying that, but who would be responsible for fixing?
Well, it would depend on the time of the year. The Red Rock Crafting Clan, as it's now called, actually just left the area shortly before you arrived. And you know a lot of your clan and relatives are now forced to work in that. So they're not in the area right now. They went south to the capital. So that leaves the local artisans who typically don't get involved in that type of thing because the crafting clan takes care of it when they're in town. And on top of that, so I mean, there are locals who would fix these issues if they were to, when they arise. But on top of it, when you go outside to look, the entire town is a disaster area. There are houses that are completely rubbleized. Half the temple is collapsed. One of the walls in the bazaar is down. The main tower of the garrison is crumbled and toppled over. The city's in a bad state, and there are currently, from the look of it, there have got to be people buried in the rubble.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
Probably look for survivors first, and then try to help however we can. I really think we should just ask people what help they want. Okay.
You start heading out, and there's right away, right outside the inn, this wall on the bazaar has collapsed, and you can hear several people calling for help from under the rubble. So if you're going to help people, you don't even need to ask anybody for that, because you know right where they're at. So
yeah, I'm going to start moving stuff out of the way then.
Yep.
Okay. Make some strength checks, or if you want to use abilities or anything like that, feel free to.
Is this going to be like I mean, do we need to specify how to do this? Like, I don't want to cause any more of a quote unquote cave in or landslide or breakdown of the wall than what's already happened.
Well, I'm not necessarily going to screw you over. Like, if you're just like, I want to help lift stones off of people, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, 10 more people die because you didn't say, and I want to do it in a way that doesn't kill people. You know,
Barovia effect.
it's definitely not Barovia effect saving people. So if you have a decent idea of how you want to do it, then by all means just say, hey, I want to use my heavy spear shaft to work as a lever to pop some stuff off. Cool. You know, that's fine. I'm not going to hurt you guys for that. It is no longer that kind of campaign most days.
Yeah. I think just between that and brute strength, just being able to clear a way to get to people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. So, Tony, are you going to use mold earth? Is that why you linked to that?
That's my intention. Yeah, if I'm capable.
Oh
Which
yeah.
I mean, I have it. So
Yeah, that will definitely help a ton. You'll be able to mold earth and actually get people out from underneath the rubble by going underneath rather than pulling the rubble off of them. So you set right to work. Give me a D20 luck check on that. Oh man, that's great. You managed to get a bunch of people out doing that. Thanak and Othig, what would you like to be doing? Just pulling stuff off of people?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
probably use like athletics checks to just
Sure, yeah.
grab stuff.
Before they all do that, I will be doing some bless.
Okay.
we get a D4
Oh,
on this
good.
stuff, don't we?
You don't. Yours was just a luck check. T.
Oh, that's right. Gotcha.
So, all right.
Probably
15's
just
good.
supplement to whatever Phil's doing, because it sounds like Phil's got a way better method to help get people out and safe then.
Filbert's
Well,
dug
I
a
mean,
lot of holes lately.
I'm assuming that Phil can only do that to like one area at a time.
It's actually
Right, but I can do
but
whatever
it's a cantrip.
Yeah.
No, but I mean like if he's doing it to 1 5-foot square,
Correct.
Every
You got-
six seconds.
I'm gonna go to another area.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
We're
you
in a
guys
different space.
start to spread out, taking on different spaces. Thanak, you help get a couple of people out. Did anybody else roll yet? Othig, you get a bunch of people out too.
Nice.
And Mav, are you going to do anything else? You already tossed out your bless.
Is it like middle of the day, late at night?
It is morning. It's early morning.
Is it bright out?
Yep.
Okay, so sun's up.
Sun's up.
Okay. Then I will. Yeah. Hey, that's not terrible.
That's actually 15 is the full success marker. So you're doing a good job of it too. You find some people in a Mav appropriate category. You know, there's some folks caught in tents, and you're like, here, let me help you get out of that tent. But
Mav, in these situations, you can also bless yourself, by the way.
yeah, because he doesn't need it for a cantrip.
Yeah.
Phil wouldn't need it.
I didn't know that when I blessed you.
Yeah.
That's okay.
So
The other thing, I do have 2 healing slots that I would be willing to use if it seemed like any of it was necessary.
oh, that's definitely necessary. There are people who are hurt and hurt bad.
And I'm going to use the healer kits that we just purchased
Okay.
to heal up to 20 people.
Okay.
If
very
the
nice.
group is acceptable of that.
All right.
Well, I'll
So
hold on to my spell slots then.
in your area, you set up a triage camp. I'd say you would burn your spell slots in this. You guys are going to spend the majority of the day doing this, because as soon as you start getting into it, some other people, they come out who aren't hurt and they start helping people as well.
Yeah.
Don't worry about making all those rolls. That's a lot.
Right. I would likely use my spell slots then instead to see if I could help find some trapped people with fairy fire.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's a good call. So you head for the homes. You secure the area in the bazaar. You get the people out of there. And the military who aren't digging out other military come out of the garrison, and they start giving orders. And they see that you guys are very capable people. And a group of you in your group and a group of the military head over to the homes, which are a disaster. They have almost entirely in a large section of town collapsed in upon themselves. So you crank off fairy fire and you guys get back to work digging. So save some people checks, some skill checks. And they don't have to necessarily be athletics. If you can think of a different way to do it, you can do something else. But That's good. That's
Oh,
good.
you know what?
That's good.
I mean, I just rolled.
What do you
Can I
want to
use
do?
insight?
I was gonna use investigation to look for people.
Yeah, you can do that. That's a legitimate thing. I was actually going to ask for a couple of rounds of rolls, so yeah, go ahead and toss those out. That's a great
Can
roll.
I use insight to identify kind of where they might be in this time of the day?
Yep, sure can. The houses are so piled on top of each other that it's really hard to tell the way these suckers are laid out. But it's not a complete failure, so you do help find a few people. Oh my gosh, you guys. Andy is the only one who's even hit a partial failure so far.
Yeah.
You guys are just basically becoming champions of digging people out of the rubble. And so, you guys, the military, and everybody else spends the better portion of the next 2 days looking for survivors and digging people out. You're all. I need you all to make Constitution saving throws because you're all borderline exhausted.
You wouldn't have less, but I just want to make it known that my training has made me like immune to concentration.
Seriously, holy cow!
Good grief, it's a nat 20 looking there. So, Othig, you're really starting to feel it, but you're holding it together. Everybody else is doing okay. You guys are keeping it together. Othig, you are going to pick up 1 point of exhaustion, though.
I would be in the same.
You're just tired. Oh yeah, you rolled yep, both of you.
How do I get rid of the bless, Andy?
I get rid
Well,
of
we
it
have
for
it
you.
for the next day. Wouldn't you cast it the next day?
Not if I don't take a rest.
Well, you guys would get an 8-hour rest in, but bless only lasts 10 minutes.
1 minute.
1 minute. So.
Oh yeah.
I guess
It was pretty much one roll.
if you wanted to throw it out the next day, you still could, and that's the one roll you'll use it on.
There you go.
So, all right, we can do that. So you
Okay.
guys just barely stave off exhaustion, and the town seems to have lost a lot of people. There's about 72 dead people. There's still a few people missing, but there are now hundreds that are homeless. The inn is set up, and what's left of the temple and the garrison and the government building have set up temporary shelters around town. Some of the other houses have set up temporary shelters, and they ask if you would be willing to start working on construction of shelter for people.
Can we do something else first before that?
What would you like to do?
Gonna pose this to the group, but can we give up our room and just still
I
pay for
was
it?
going to suggest that.
I assumed that we already did, but he was like, the inn has set up as a shop and has asked you to go find somewhere else to live. I was like, oh yeah, of course, obviously.
Yeah, that's why I was like shaking my head yes. But,
Yeah.
Like we can find other accommodations, but people need some housing. So
Can we also check and see if anybody would be welcome at the farm with the Iron Fists?
Oh yeah, at the estate you could send send homeless people out to the estate for sure. Yeah. So yeah, they're very thankful of that. T, a lot of this you can't. Kren soil is only about 5 to 10 feet deep, and then you hit really hard bedrock. So yeah, mold earth. I ruled out a long time ago moving heavy stone. It's just.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
It's not happening.
It'll work, but it'll work about as quickly as the water erodes.
Yeah.
Right, it moves loose earth. It doesn't move stone.
Yep.
Okay.
It only moves loose earth.
So, give me, you guys, if you just want to make a couple of D20 rolls with your proficiency on there for doing different skills to help the people recover over these next few days. You're either building temporary shelter, repairing buildings like the inn that are being used as shelter, or you're, documenting things for like who's doing what. All right, that's.
Can I use some of my crafting points?
You sure can.
Carpentry?
Absolutely.
and I mean you'd have higher than that, right?
Phil's not good at this part.
Our proficiency is 2.
Unless you're using tools
No.
that you're double proficient.
Yeah,
in.
you would use a tool that you're proficient in.
Oh, I mean, I don't know what I would use.
Tinkerer's tools.
Well, a tool or a skill,
So,
right?
to do
Mike?
what?
Well, you'd be fixing
Reinforce
buildings,
stuff.
reinforcing stuff. You could even be working on machinery to lift things.
Yeah, so you could do a strength
Okay.
check with proficiency,
And
right?
then it'd be a 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't find a lot of room for your skills. Mav is just cranking away on skills, so let's see. But you do find a couple of things that work out right. Mav has a bit more success. If I
Is
can
it
get some,
3?
yeah, if I can get some rolls from Othig and there's a nat 20 in there and
Nice.
19. That's good.
Is that actually plus 2 more to all those if it makes a difference?
Okay. What you
Roll
guys
your-
are
D10 or whatever.
What you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
are encountering is that you'll start to work on something and there's an internal damage. It's not that your skill is failing you, it's that the structure is damaged in a way that you aren't seeing. And so things are falling apart and all of that type of stuff. If you want to spend 30 of your crafting points, you can turn one of your failures into a partial success.
So what would my 10 turn into? Or
Um,
would that stay at 10?
no, I would turn it into a full success then.
Okay. How many crafting points?
30 points to upgrade one of your fails.
Well, I'll definitely do that.
T,
yeah,
did you-
I'll do that.
Done.
T, did you roll?
I didn't roll. This is the stuff Filbert's not good at.
Okay.
I mean, he'd be attempting to help in any way that he can, but as far as skill sets, he doesn't. This is where he always fell short.
Okay, well, there would still be things for you to do around town. You would either be helping with the wounded or something
Yeah.
that would fall into your skill set. You'd be administering medicine, those types of things. So
I don't know why it rolled like that. That's weird.
that's okay. I mean, I can add 2 to all of those numbers easily enough.
Yep.
So
I'll use. Well, you said 30 points.
yeah, to upgrade one of your low rolls.
So I rolled a 24, a 10, and an 8. So I can turn the 8 into a partial.
Yeah, the 8 is a partial failure. You could turn it into a partial success.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So overall, though, your rolls were just spectacular. You guys were really instrumental in correcting a lot of the problems that hit town. And you sit down at the end of the day after about 6 days of this, and you're just like, oh my goodness, this is the craziest thing you guys have ever lived through. And you got devastated in some spellcaster's basement one day, and this was just it was horrific because of the dead and the wounded. And I mean, there's people here who no longer have limbs because they were crushed in the earthquake, in the accident. But as a town, you guys kind of all pull it together. Even the Red Rocks, they screwed you guys over, but they're still very pro-Kren people. So you see them and their people doing stuff. You do get word that...
Wait, so some of these other people might need an axe buster?
It is entirely possible that other people might need an axe buster at this point.
Yes.
And
Sorry, continue.
spring-loaded peg legs and everything else
Yeah.
you want to come up with. Whatever. Pogo stick legs. It's a terrible tragedy, but it is a very community rallying event. And you work through many nights, you fight off exhaustion on and off, and you get up one morning and the town, even though there's still rubble everywhere and they're rebuilding buildings, it starts to feel normal again. Just a little bit. It's still a mess, but it starts to feel better. And as that happens, a group of men come into town, and you hear them downstairs at the inn. Most people have moved off to different housing now. They're no longer staying in the inn. There's still a few people. So you guys are back to your normal lodgings. And you come downstairs, and there's a group of men down there talking very aggressively with another man. He's a human fella. He's tall. He's thin. Has a bald, shaven head, but that's pretty common for the Kren. So you don't recognize this guy in particular. You're pretty sure you've seen him around town. Mav, you think you may have spotted him at the government building, but you're not sure.
Was my suspicion it would he have been around the Red Rocks?
No, he's not. You don't think you've seen him around the Red Rocks. but they seem pretty worked up about something.
Phil asked the question, and Matt
Oh.
would also want to know if there's anything unnatural about the earthquakes.
Yeah, sorry I missed that. It's the Empire, the Northern Empire, has gotten earthquakes before in the past, so it's not unnatural. But they're usually in the north end of the country, not the south end. So it's fairly unusual to have one down here. But to say unnatural, it'd be very assumptive.
Well, right. I was thinking more along the lines of I spent time with the Lord of Earth.
Yeah. No.
And if there was anything that felt fey about it, because like you had mentioned, I have the fey nature sense. So I'm just making sure there wasn't anything fey or weird about it.
No, there wasn't. Usually when the Fae are moving, there's that weird, magical, goofy feeling that surrounds them. There was none of that.
Okay. That was all.
Okay.
I would go and stand near the altercation.
Okay. You get closer to the altercation and you start to pick up what they're fighting about. These are a group of, I guess you could call them an artisans guild. They're called the Night Soilers.
They pee their pants in their bed.
Something we haven't...
I was totally just thinking that.
Let me give you a piece of information, and I mentioned it a little bit earlier, that you can't dig real deep into Kren soil, so finding substructures are very rare. Cities in the Empire don't often have sewer systems because it's an arid place for one and there isn't water aplenty to flush them. So what they've done is relied on magical means and ingenuity to some degree. And they have created basically transdimensional composting piles where there are large garbage disposals that when waste product is dumped into them, teleports it to a cavern nearby. That cavern, the soil there is composted and then resold to the rich farmland in the palm as fertilizer. It is a very lucrative business. This guy, his name is Heliot Manisi, Heliot, like Elliot but with an H. Manasi, Manisi. He is the owner of the Elinos composting cavern. He is one of the richest nobles in the city. His miners are explaining to him that they were just attacked by some sort of giant lizard creature in the composting caverns about a day ago.
Lizard creature?
And everybody stops and turns and looks at you.
Filbert actually saying lizard creature.
And one of them says, "Yeah, it was a big man-like lizard. It was 6 feet tall with sharp, pointy teeth, and it got Roger."
Filbert would immediately remember back to his clutch friend, the one that cried at his funeral and screamed.
Pungent Sky,
is that familiar? Or is that the same kind of thing?
No, Pungent Sky is a lizard folk. They are shorter and hunched. They are definitely not 6 feet tall monstrosities, although lizard folk have been known to eat people.
Right, and it's been 250 years. He thinks she might have gotten taller.
So, but they're not going back to work till the problem's taken care of.
I put a gold coin on the table, and I yell, "We'll take the job!"
You're gonna pay him.
He turns and looks at you, and he says, You'll go to my cavern and clean out the lizards."
Yeah, they ain't got nothing on methods.
"I'll pay you 150 gold to do so."
We're all around, right?
Yeah, you're all in the area. To some degree, you were like, okay.
Do I feel like he might pay more?
You don't know what money is.
That's not true. I've gotten very good at haggling, just not with coin.
Mav would like to negotiate a little bit.
Yep. Filbert looks over at Mav and says, "He'll pay more." And Mav leans in on him and negotiates, and he says, Fine. 200, but it needs to be done soon. These men need to get back to work. There's a lot of people here to feed that we've just lost all of their worldly goods. And without the composting and the fertilizing, the crops don't come in as thickly.
Mav is going to pull out a piece of parchment, an ink pen,
Mm-hmm.
dribble up a little contract, and have him sign it.
Hey, before you finish that contract,
Yep.
put in a sub clause that that we would also be we would get first dibs at any further work.
Ooh.
He would agree to that.
Consideration.
Is he going to agree to that?
He agrees to your terms. He says he hasn't had the need of adventurers or your kind forever, but if he needs you again, he'll call.
Okay. And then our contract stipulation is that we acquire the loot unless otherwise specified.
Absolutely, he's got no problem with that at all.
The fine print.
Yep.
Fine print.
This
Right
is
to loot.
this is not a run and fetch job, so he's totally okay with that.
Okay.
All right. So
We're terrible.
Before we go out, can we find a healer's kit in town, or are those all used up?
those are all
I'm just-
unfortunately used up.
Okay. That
Yeah.
would be my thought, but
The town is really low on supplies, and there are some merchants who have come into town and they're not quite price gouging, but everything that did come in sold at a very high price and then still sold out.
In the week or so that we've been doing this and people from outside have come in,
Mm-hmm.
how widespread was this?
They felt it down in the capital and in the other cities nearby, but it did seem that the epicenter was closer to Elinos because the other cities just experienced minor damage,
Okay.
where Elinos lost about a quarter of its buildings.
Okay.
All right. As far as a healer's kit goes, though, you would be able to pick up some of the base supplies, and if Filbert wants to make 3 herbalism checks on the way out, if we can break 40, you can have a healer's kit.
You said 3?
3. So you shouldn't have too hard of a time doing this, but you never know.
I can't break 40 with with a D20 roll.
Yes, D20 plus your skill modifier. Oh,
oh jeez.
and we don't have a healer's kit.
It was close.
It was close. Well, all right.
Do I have bless?
No, because this would be over hours and hours.
Yeah.
And so you do not have a healer's kit. He can't quite scrape up enough. You got most of the pieces, but the medicinal properties are not there. So let's
I was looking for food.
So as you approach the compost caverns, you see them on the horizon, and let's see, where's on the area map. It's straight to the east of town along that ridge line that's out there. So it is, let's close that. I suppose it's a little southeast.
Did everyone take their sets of stuff from the party sheet, or is that?
Oh,
That
no, I
is
didn't.
up for grabs. So anybody that wants to grab something should take it.
Did
Oh.
people already take?
I didn't take anything.
'Cause
I
there's
put
some-
I took some of my stuff,
Okay.
but I put everything else just right in there.
Oh,
Okay.
Andy, you put a thing of studded leather in there, and I already put it in my inventory.
Okay, pull it out of there and then change your number to 1 instead of 2.
Yeah.
On it.
All right. Yeah, Thanik, take what you need, and then I'll take what's left. Everyone else already grabbed. So I didn't grab anything.
Ooh, I'll take a climber's kit. You bought enough climber's kits for all of us, Andy?
I bought 2.
Bought 2?
Yeah, that should give us enough pitons for.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Phil, you take the glass bottles.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
I bought them for you. Do you want me to hold on to them instead?
Too late. They're currently now filled with mushrooms.
That's fine.
At least for now. I use druid craft, and I will fill them with mushrooms.
I think I'm good.
All right. So you guys take the day and you travel to the composting caverns, and there's a road going out that way. It's not a really well-used road, but it's followable. And you get there, and as you approach, you're maybe a quarter mile out, and you can already smell them. And it's a smell of waste and rot, and it is impossible to ignore. As you get closer, it is truly as if someone has stuck your face in a steaming bowl of chamber pot stew. It is just disgusting. There are swarms of small black flies buzzing noisily about, and there are piles of waste outside of this cavern entrance, 4 or 5 foot tall, drying from wet, sloppy waste into dark black compost. And it's just gross. The hot, steaming piles of turd that are outside of this cavern.
I don't know a better way to ask this. Is this Constitution check? No.
It's funny you say that because you're pretty sure you'll have to make one as you go into the cavern.
Okay, because I was gonna say if it's that bad before we go in, I'd be more inclined to rip off a corner of my garment into 2 equal parts and shove one up each dwarven nostril so as to protect myself from the overwhelming stench of compost.
Mav is also going to light up incense.
Okay. So, you guys, if you want to take some precautions against the smell, you can.
Yes.
It might hamper certain perception checks, though, so be aware of that. It's up to you.
Oh, Phil's fine.
But if you take precautions, you'll get advantage on these types of saving throws, but you will have disadvantage on certain perception checks, possibly.
Would lighting a torch do
Blow
anything
up the
for
cave?
smell? Maybe.
Just throw that in there.
Boom!
Well,
I took care of it.
you're looking inside the cave, and you can see the entrance of it, and there's a very large minecart rails coming in and out of this, and you think they must shovel the minecarts full, bring it out here to dry, then cart it away. There are torches inside this cavern, and they're lit and they're burning, and they're flickering quite fast as if they're fueled by the air around them. But so you don't know how much it would help, but you don't think it would blow up. That's for sure.
Okay.
Well, that's good, because my create bonfire spell would have been fun in a few minutes.
So,
I mean, what if I just continually light the torch?
so you get the smoke under your nose?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the same type of thing. Whatever precaution you want to take, that's fine with me.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's silly, but I'll do it.
Put some sealing wax up in the nose.
Yeah.
Phil wants his senses about him, so he's just going to be...
All right, so everybody give me Constitution saving throws as you get ready to go into this to the compost cavern. Oh, that's bad.
Dear.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Oh, think you can make that an advantage because you did something to prevent it. That is a little bit better. That's actually just enough.
Yeah.
So none of you are currently suffering from the -2 to your rolls that breathing this air in could have caused you. So, and I assume you're going into the cavern? Unless there's something you want to do outside.
No.
Rethink my life choices.
Too late.
Too late,
Mav
we
is
signed a
gonna,
contract.
Yeah.
say under his breath, we should have charged him more.
Yeah.
All right. So you go into the cavern, and moving into the tunnel, you find that you immediately inside the area, it's been worked into a fairly large rectangular room. The smell is nearly unbearable. Ever-burning torches line the wall, their flames flickering and burning brightly. There is a mine track running in and out, like I said before, And at the south edge of this room, it splits into 2 rails and travels deeper into the cavern through some tunnels to the south.
Can I use Druidcraft to create the small puff of wind in front of Thanok's little flame on his nose?
To make him smell it bad?
So it keeps going out.
I mean, you can.
I want to. At least in the start.
So you guys have now entered the compost caverns. You can see they open up further beyond. Down these rails, there are very, very large mine carts in here and a bunch of handcart wheelbarrows as well.
What is in the mine carts?
Make a perception check.
Filbert, you might want to check this out too.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'll do a
19,
thing.
21. So, through the tears in your eyes, you wipe them away, and you start to look at the mine carts. And Mav, you notice this. Phil, you're looking around, and you've been to places in the Fae that smelled this bad. So okay, but Mav, you see a shadow moving across the room. For a moment, you realize you're probably not alone, even in this room. Focusing in on it, you see a humanoid figure dart under one of the mine carts ahead that you're about to go investigate. And as it slips out of your view, you catch 2 very large lizards moving in through the archways in the south. And you're going to
dark
need
in here?
It is no, it's dim light enough. It's not quite it's somewhere between dim and bright light. The torches definitely illuminate the room. You see 2 very large lizards coming up this way, and you guys are going to need to roll initiative.
Oh, that's not at all wrong.
Oh my gosh. 2.
Do you have alert on your druid too?
They were the same character. I just changed it once the cloak and dagger being Phil was gone. But yes, both where Grummy and Phil had alert.
All right. So, as we cook into this, and Lizard 2 is going to go first. Yeah, Thanok and Othig would definitely be in the front. Phil and Mav in the back, so that looks about right. And Mav, I'm actually going to put you on the other side because you were going to look at the mine carts.
Yep.
Adam, how'd you get your token to be a different image?
Mike did that, actually.
Yeah, if you want something else, just send me a picture of it. I'll swap it in there. No problem.
Okay, that will.
So this giant lizard comes booking in, and it goes for Othig. Othig, make a perception check as it comes up to you.
Okay.
You do not see it.
Nope.
And so it is going to attempt to bite you. And it will miss. It clamps onto you, but it's clamped onto your pole arm instead. Actually, you can make an attack, can't you?
Yes,
As it comes into your range. Please do if you want.
Yes, can.
That polearm mastery.
Dude, that's a great feat.
Man, coupling that with Sentinel is just rude.
Yes. You do manage to hit this creature. It goes to bite your pole arm, and you just kind of give it a good stab right in the mouth. A real good stab right in the mouth. You wail on that sucker as it attempts to bite at you, and you cause it to miss you. Phil, you're up.
Phil is going to start a fire underneath the lizard.
Mike, which square am I in? Am I in this one?
Yes. Sorry about that. I'm not zoomed in nearly close enough on my map.
No problem.
There we go.
So, Mike, looking at the wording for create bonfire.
Yes.
If I hold my action to cast the spell until something finishes its movement, I would then be able to damage it once it stops moving, and then if it stays there, it takes the damage at the end of its turn. Would that be something that you would allow me to regularly take advantage of?
No, I feel like that's a little bit too close to gaming the system.
Well, I wouldn't be waiting for it to be done with its movement, or like movement, just stop moving. So something could still utilize its movement to finish.
I think the idea, though, is that you shouldn't be able to deal damage twice on the same.
Oh no, it definitely is meant so that you can. It's just I'm factoring in the fact that he's starting a bonfire and it's stationary. He'd be waiting for something to stop moving.
Yeah, I suppose you can hold your action. Yeah, I don't see why.
It uses up my reaction.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That was the only reason I was wondering about it, because it is a resource to be used.
Yep.
But
yeah, I'll let you do it.
Okay, so I will hold my action until Giant Lizard 1 finishes moving and then start a fire underneath.
Okay.
So.
All right. Well, Giant Lizard 1 is going to run over to here.
Well, Mav gets to go first.
Oh, sorry. No, it's not. Sorry, Mav.
Mav is going to just relocate. He's unhappy with
Had a feeling.
All right.
Okay, now it's Lizard number 1's turn.
Now it's going to come running out and do that. Right. Lizard number 1.
And my thought on this, Mike, by the way, is it might deter something from staying there and attacking somebody. That was the thought process. If it runs up to one of my friends and all of a sudden it starts on fire, it might try and run away if it's a stupid creature.
Right.
Kind of a scare tactic style thing that Phil would be doing. So it can make a save when I cast it, which it fails and takes damage, and then it has a fire under it. So if it ends its movement there, or if it ends its turn there, I'll do it again. So
okay. Well, it's going to end its turn there because it's a dumb creature. So
okay, but it gets to make its attacks first.
Yeah, no, I don't like the idea of you hitting it twice in a round.
I'd be able to, if I casted it on 2. So if I would have just cast it on 2 just now without using my reaction.
Yes.
It would start its turn on fire and take the turn. So either way it would be. This is more of just using my reaction to try and scare something.
But it wouldn't. The way ending its turn works, if you put a bonfire under it, it wouldn't take damage until its next turn if it decided to stay there.
I thought it...
I think. Either way, you'd only damage it once.
So it takes the damage when you cast it, and then it takes it if it moves into the space or ends its turn there.
Okay.
So you're right. If it starts its turn there, it wouldn't take the damage.
Oh.
But, okay.
Yeah, so it's only once.
Okay. I'll cast it on... I'll leave it where it is then, and it's just it took its damage and ran away then.
Okay. Well, you can still cast it where it stops moving. It's only just going to take that damage one time.
But still uses my reaction?
No, you still have your reaction. So.
Gotcha. Following.
All right. I attacked Thanak. Thanak, what's your AC? 17. This creature just barely misses you. It goes to bite you, and you put some of your elbow plate right in its jaw, and you give it a good whack so it can't get at you. And it pushes its head to the side, and it hisses at you. And you're about to take a stab at it when something happens that you were not expecting. There is a creature that pops up out of the minecart, and Mav saw this creature duck under it before, and it is drawing 2 daggers, and it leaps onto the back of the giant lizard and stabs it in the back.
It stabs the lizard in the back?
Yeah, the lizard creature stabs the lizard in the back, and it will hit it with the first attack and miss with its offhand. No, it'll hit with its offhand. Very nice.
It's our first recruit, guys.
So it's going to do...
Yes, it didn't jump into the bonfire.
It did not. It is on the is not. The bonfire is definitely under the creature.
I had a feeling. It's only a 5 foot square and it's a 10-foot creature, so
Yeah.
I figured. I just wanted to make sure that you knew there was a bonfire there.
So you hear this thing shrieking as it just starts to stab Lizard Folk 1, and it definitely does a ton of damage on that first attack, and then it kind of twists its dagger and stabs it again with its next attack, and it pushes the creature into the heavily wounded category.
Hope this is my friend.
Thanok.
Oh, I didn't realize that a net is a weapon.
It is, and I have special net rules because the regular net rules suck. You do not have disadvantage using a net, ever.
Okay.
So.
I don't want to use it. I just grabbed it because I was thinking like a net. Put it in my my weapons menu.
Yeah, it's a weapon.
Yeah. All right, cool. So I'm gonna swing at the giant lizard, and I'm gonna miss at the giant lizard.
You are definitely gonna miss the giant lizard.
Gigante lizard.
Oh, hey, I didn't realize I was targeting him. Can you take 1 health off giant lizard number 1? When I use the net, it actually heals them.
What?
Oops.
What?
That's really funny. All right, Othig, you're up.
That's great.
Why
Okay.
That heals somebody.
Because I do -1 damage, which is a positive one.
Maybe
when
that's how
you're-
you should heal us.
Oh.
Just keep...
Hey, Thanok, you get to make a perception check too as you're fighting this creature.
Yeah, good luck. I probably shouldn't ever be able to.
Oh my gosh!
Othig, you are having none of this with these giant lizards. You turn around with your polearm and again wail on that sucker for maximum damage, putting it to the ground.
Hey, good job.
Hey, thanks, man. Actually, I'm gonna move right there.
Okay.
That's where I'll end my turn.
All right.
Why so close?
Thanok, yeah, you don't see anything either.
Just in case.
Yep. Philip, it is your
Hello.
turn.
He's going to cast Shillelagh and then run up in melee since the bonfire's still a raging.
It is still a raging.
So it's... Okay. And I'm going to whack him with my stick. I
No,
think that'll miss.
that will miss.
I don't have damage right now. I'm hurt
So-
rest.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to get there.
Okay. Mav.
Do I
You're-
get a perception check?
Oh, yeah, you do.
Yes.
Hey!
Was I supposed to take another one?
No,
Seriously?
Okay.
He had 1 health.
he did have 1 health. Phil, these lizards are scarred with what looks to be real ritualistic scarring around their necks and down their backs. There's no way that these are scars from natural causes. So, all right.
So they're pets.
That appears to be so. That is a good guess. Mav, you toll the dead on that thing, and it collapses into the bonfire. And then this lizard folk runs over and goes to grapple Filbert. Filbert, I need an anti-grapple check.
Do I recognize this creature?
Make a perception check.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. I mean, they're the same, but I think it would have been... But yeah.
Filbert, you definitely recognize this creature, and it's screaming, "Clutchmate! Clutchmate!"
I would allow the embrace. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
try.
Pungent
Yeah.
Sky drops her daggers and tackles you and is sissing and laughing and "Clutchmate! Clutchmate!" And then it turns around and immediately jumps on Thanok and says, "Brood friend!" And yeah. Pungent Sky is thrilled to death to see you.
I mean, not as thrilled to death as I was.
I have to be completely honest. I was super high when I don't remember any of her, of Pungent Sky?
Pungent
funeral.
Yeah, Pungent Sky was one of the Granite Black slaves. And during Filbert's funeral, she was just off in the back wailing and crying because she was born at about the same time Filbert was a child, so they kind of grew up as playmates. And since she was alone as a slave in your group, she had no other family and kind of took to Filbert as family. But she had a lot of respect for the rest of you. She was a very well-behaved and very treasured slave.
Okay.
So
Very cool.
she's very happy to see everybody.
Now we do have our first recruit.
Yeah.
What, sir?
I was going to see if I could talk to her, but I don't think I can. In her tongue, I don't think I can.
No, you would know she speaks Draconic.
Yeah, Where Grummy's the one that has Draconic, not Phil.
Yeah. She speaks Broken Common and Draconic.
Yeah, I'll just speak Draconic to her.
Oh, she turns upside down, like over your head, and says, "This one likes you."
This one.
I'll just pet her behind her ear.
Yeah, she doesn't have ears. She's got those little holes on the side of her head.
behind her ear holes.
I like how this one reminds me of 3 of Black.
Yeah.
Two of Black.
2 of Black.
Yeah, it's definitely, a more normal name, but very similar lizard folk. And then she just starts to rant about, this one has hunted rocks of red, make bleed, killed 4 granite backs. And she's smiling at you like...
Can we just, tell her that should not happen right now? We're trying to...
Hey, does she know? Yeah, we should ask her if there's other, what were those things that we were just fighting? If there's other ones like that around here.
Crap. Is that card on fire? Because I stopped paying attention to my spell and it totally just kept going.
No, it is a metal cart, so no, it is not on fire.
Good.
Mountain carts are not on fire.
Coincidentally, you've just learned how to cast heat metal.
You do think that would make a good spell someday. No, you explained to her the situation, so yes, maybe killing red rocks right now is not a good idea and we should focus the task at hand. And you ask her what else is in the cave, and she says, smelly lizards.
I would specify that I'm very proud of her for killing the red rocks. It's just now we need to stop.
Temporarily.
Okay.
Temporarily.
We're going to kill some more later.
Okay. So...
Can I want to actually, take a look at her weapons.
What are you looking for?
How well kept are they?
Oh, pretty well kept.
Oh, so they're nice weapons?
Yeah, she's got decent stuff.
Okay, cool. All right.
She's got a short sword and a dagger. She's got several javelins on her back. Yeah.
I would ask her if she acquired any of these from Red Rocks.
All weapons come from dead rocks.
Dead rocks.
Dead rock.
I would also ask her to inspect the Dead Rocks weapons.
That is too good.
There's no identifying markers or anything on them.
There will be now.
She says, if you don't want me to use, I use these. And she holds out her claws and her big teeth.
Oh, no. You can use the weapons. I just wanted to make sure that, no. She doesn't need an explanation.
Okay. She's very excited.
I asked her if she wants to go help us hunt lizards.
Yes, kill smelly lizards.
Lizards.
Can we just
I love
retcon
lizard
that's how draconic actually is?
Draconic.
It just sounds like that all the time.
Lizards and draconic.
That's spellcast. That's the elegance of spellcasting right there.
Yeah.
Make
Sniper.
make bally fire.
Yeah, where are we headed? Where are the bad guys? Smelly Sky.
Pungent. You call Sky. She runs off this way, and she's pointing to the rooms to the south.
Let's go.
All right.
We have a marching.
So you guys cross into this next section of the room. Oops. And my reveal tool is off. There it goes. And you see just a massive cavern. And there is a huge burning brazier hanging up above, pumping out tons of gross-looking black smoke. And there's more of those torches on the walls and all that type of stuff. You see more mining equipment. Let me just read. Oops.
Real quick, I just want to ask Pungent Sky how long she's been here.
This one has been hiding in Smelly Cave area for... And she just holds up all of her fingers and sits down on her tail and puts all of her toes up. Maybe more.
Okay. So
Days or years?
Yes.
I don't think she knows.
I'm guessing she doesn't know. How many
No.
moons?
You remember Sky is not the most intelligent
Yeah.
creature you've ever met.
In the party sheet, can we throw together an order just so that we know our typical marching order?
I know it. It's Thanik and Othig, and then Mav and Filbert right behind them.
Okay, I didn't know if we had a already conversed order or not.
I don't know if we ever conversed it, but it's what makes sense. I mean, I don't...
Yeah, if you put it together in the party sheet, when you drag in our thing with the green helmet, it'll automatically pop us up like that.
Shut up! It does?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, I have my guy set into like a figure 8 pattern.
That's really nice. All right.
Wait, what are you talking about?
In the party
It's
sheet where you can do loot, I have a page called Order, and
Yeah,
apparently,
so do we.
oh,
Yeah, if you
If
put our
us
tokens
in
in
there,
there,
we can
set up our order.
rearrange.
Oh, look at that.
check
And
that
then
out.
it should, when you drag our green arrow on, automatically put us on the map in that order.
Oh, hey!
And let's put Sky.
Just trying to help.
Hey, what do gay horses eat?
Don't get us
It's going
banned
on
from
the internet,
YouTube.
Adam. I'm not usually the one that has to do this, and it's happened a lot lately.
Yeah.
What?
All right.
We need to be careful.
Ah,
It's
gay
it's
friendly
fine.
with that joke.
Yeah. So let's see, where are we at here? We are in not the cave entrance. We are in.
Love it.
We are. So this room, this massive room, transitions back to more natural stone. It's lit up by that large brazier I mentioned earlier hanging from the ceiling. There are numerous torches up around the cavern walls. Looking around, you see what is easily the most disgusting thing you have ever laid eyes on. The floor of the cavern itself works its way out to a peninsula with several docks that are seemingly being engulfed by rot and feces. It then gets worse. It was the most disgusting thing you've ever laid eyes on.
Do skeletons come out of it? Because that just might put it over the top. for
No,
three of
no
us.
skeletons today. But there is a fizz pop sound of magic going off that draws your attention to the rear of the cavern where a small portal opens up and a stream of wet plopping feces slaps onto the surface of this glacier of human excrement. And it just kind of slides into place.
And it's not a normal magical portal either. It's like the alien queen.
It's really gross. Yeah. And so it's like it just can there's just a reeking glacier of garbage and excrement in front of you. And then that wretched event seems to repeat itself every 15 to 20 seconds or so.
That's a lot of damage.
Yep. To the south of the room, there appears to be a split in the wall.
Can we take away internet privileges?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I just looked at that. I was like, I wonder what he put on our Discord now. It's an image of a pooping rhino. It is shooting poop. That's about what you're seeing. Except wetter and blacker.
Yeah.
I'm going to get rid of that. I can't have that on there.
Hey, you can turn it. You can set your settings so that GIFs only play when you mouse over them.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah, but
because
it's not any better. It's
Yeah,
still a picture of a pooping rhino.
it's beautiful, actually. What do you guys want to do?
Not have Discord open.
Can we? Can we? Where are we on the map? Because we got taken off from the thing.
You guys are standing probably about there.
Has Albert ever come back?
Oh, yeah, totally. I keep forgetting about that. Yes, you have your familiar. Albert came back while you were running around town looking for Tabby.
Fantastic. I forgot about him. He's in my suit coat.
I'll just ask Pungent Sky where because I asked her where
Yeah.
the lizards were, so I'll just follow her.
Oh, she would point towards the crack in the cave. She says, they came after ground to shake.
Oh, we're gonna have to crawl through that crap. Literally.
I can move Earth.
Can you make a path?
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be Earth someday, right?
Hey, if you can
mold pre-Earth. I could put some flowers on it with Druidcraft. It won't smell quite as bad.
Do you want to attempt to move some of it?
Yeah,
we should attempt to move some of it for fear of rolling like 7 Constitution checks.
Okay.
I'll just.
Here's what we do. We
got
scare Filbert and make him jump and see which way to go.
This is not exact science. Please don't.
I'll land upside down.
And he has rolled an obnoxious amount of 6s when that check has come up. So, I mean,
It's true.
you can scare him and he might not poof, but it just seems to happen that he's rolled.
I might poop.
You might poof himself. So you guys move out to here, and Filbert, do you want to experiment with Mold Earth?
I do. I would also like to, if possible, take a minute and cast Detect Magic if the boys will let me.
This is the worst version of Moses.
I don't know. I feel like he dealt with the same thing.
I was thinking about that before.
Just to see if
Mav is going to pull out the shovel and just hand it to Othig.
Yeah.
You guys have no idea how much giggling was going on in my office while I was writing this adventure. When I described the boiling chamber pot of the stew made of... Yeah. Allie almost threw up. She's like, stop talking to me.
Yeah, I'll experiment with Mold Earth and see what happens here.
Okay. You are able to move most of this stuff. Yeah. There's some of it that resists, but it usually gets pulled along with the other. So you can move it. But you realize that this stuff is deep. Out here in the middle, it's like 4 feet deep. So this pit is... This is some stuff. You're in deep.
Yeah.
This is some stuff.
So
what's holding the docks?
It does look like there's posts that go down. So they probably like this depression in the cavern floor where the poop pile is about 4 feet deep. So you guys would be in over your heads as dwarves.
Is there anything in the handcarts?
No, most of them are empty. There's residue, but they're empty.
Would we be able to fashion a sail or a rowboat?
A sail?
No, this stuff is too thick to row through.
What about roll on?
You might be able to build some extension. But you don't know. You're destroying this guy's stuff. That might work against some recovery efforts there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna mold Earth and then use Create Bonfire to like seal it in place, like cook it, and like
poop walls,
like cauterize it.
Okay,
poop walls.
That definitely slows down the
coagulation.
And the pushing of it back into the space. So
Phil is having a great time.
Make a luck roll for me.
Yeah. That'll do. That's a 3.
All right. So Phil starts doing this, and at first it seems like it's going great. You guys get out to about here, And I need you to roll initiative as two gigantic reptilian figures burst through the crud and attack you.
Jeez.
Good. I'm really glad I don't go anywhere.
Yeah. Would not go well.
What did Sky roll?
I didn't roll for Sky yet. Sky got a 10.
So gross.
All right, so let's...
Oh, hey, can you make mine a 19?
I can.
Because I didn't actually roll initiative. I rolled a dexterity check.
Oh, got it. So I'm going to put you guys... And
No, Mav, not Phil.
Oh, sorry. Phil, what did you have?
18.
Phil.
And it did not roll or bring your party in the way it was set in the tracker.
What?
Yeah. That just brought you in like that. So
We also don't have anything in the tracker.
That's true. But we did.
in the party sheet. Yeah, we set that up. Why don't we anymore? Oh, I don't care. I'll figure it out.
Oh, you had to drop the PCs into the watch order, I think.
Oh. Yeah, totally.
That's what puts him in the party.
Yep. So this is what's going on. You guys are in the path, straight off the dock. And
why am I in front?
oh, sorry, Filbert's in front.
Yep.
Because
Phil's in front.
Filbert's casting.
Poopsmith.
Yep. Filbert is the poopsmith at this moment. And these guys burst out, one at Filbert, one at Thanak. And Pungent Sky is up first. And Pungent Sky goes, "Smelly lizards!" and jumps back up on the dock.
That means also supposed to be at a 19.
Can I have my 19 still?
Oh, yes. But Pungent Sky is still going first because her dex is way better than yours.
That's fine.
And she grabs a javelin and whips it at one of the stinky lizards and will stick... No, does not stick him. Shoot. And it goes wide. And she yells, "Oh no! Sorry." And that's
Mike, do I get to take a reaction?
It's going to bring up Mav. No, because technically you were surprised.
Surprise.
You do not have the surprise effect, but you couldn't even see them till they burst out of the junk.
Oof.
Nice. Mav, you just roast that troglodyte. And you blast him.
Way to go with the meta.
Phil.
Phil's just going to whack this one, catch the Lely, and he's going to hit it with his diplomatic shroom stick.
Phil, you need to make a Constitution saving throw first.
I do?
Yep. Somehow, this thing smells worse than the environment you're in. You don't know how that's even possible, and you are now at disadvantage. You are poisoned. You have the poisoned condition.
It can get worse.
It can get worse.
It did get worse.
Oh, diplomatic shroom stick.
Nope.
It didn't get worse.
Nope.
Okay. So that's action, bonus action. Yeah. Have at the knave.
All right, Othig, you're up. And you are far enough away where you do not need to make the saving throw.
Yay.
You were about to, but then it got roasted with a guiding bolt.
Sure did.
Pushed him right back into the thing.
Oops.
Poops.
What's our movable area?
Where you're all standing.
Yeah.
Well, I can attack from here, right?
You can hit him.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
Get him. So proud of you.
That's an 18. You will definitely smack him for 6 points of damage. You have wounded the troglodyte, and you cannot hit him with that though. Sorry.
Oh.
that's gonna have to be something that's right next to you. No, the butt swing is not gonna flip around and go 10 feet.
If I hold the other end, like
No. No, man. All right.
Just kind of like reach over there. And...
But what if you cut yourself with the poop?
No, I'm still gonna hold the pole part.
Yep.
The infection.
So, all right. It is the troglodyte's turn now, and it is going to attempt to claw Filbert. And 9 will not hit you, correct? Filbert?
9 will not hit me. Mike, the polearm master does let you use it at reach because it is the polearm. I mean, it
No.
only make...
Mike does not let you use the butt at reach. There's
Right, okay.
If you have a 10-foot stick, the only way to get 10-foot stick on the other side is to slide to the actual opposite end of what you're holding. Yeah. That's silly to me. Like
okay.
I'll let
In
you hit
6
something
seconds.
I'll let you hit something next to you for sure, but that's a meism. So,
All right.
yep. Filbert, unfortunately, you are critically hit by this bite though.
What?
Yep.
Get out of here.
Nat 20. So he's going to bite you for 9 points of damage, and he's got a death clamp on your shoulder with this bite, and he starts to back up. And next round, he might disappear into the muck with you.
Nope.
Actually, he is going to attempt to do it now because he hasn't used any of his movement. So,
Do I get to resist that with a strength?
Can I?
no, it's an automatic grapple.
If he moves at all, can I?
The grapple.
It's like any other creature. It's like a roper when they hit you in auto grapple. It is something this guy has.
Yep.
So, but yes, Thanak, you can hit him because he's leaving your zone.
Mav is just going to yell that our poop shovel is being pulled into the poop.
Yeah. Go Poop Smith.
You will hit him, and you do kill it before Filbert gets pulled
Barely.
into the poop.
Filbert's just holding his breath.
Winding up for it.
Not gonna let you die again.
I died?
Yeah.
Awesome. So great. Did you pin that rhino?
Of course he did.
I then got rid of the rhino.
Oh man, that's the best. Okay, so you guys have killed the troglodytes, and Pungent Sky goes, "Someone get steak. I throw a steak. You pick it up.
Oh yeah, I'll grab it.
Thank you."
Yeah.
And then she hops down into the tunnel and just climbs over everybody and scoots into the tunnel beyond.
Oh, the poop feet.
So you guys can squeeze into the next area. You will be happy to know that you are out of the poop tunnels. The poop pile. Excuse me, I want to make sure I clarify poop pile. Because you're not out of the poop tunnels. This is the best. I love this so much. I'm such a child. So you move away from the fecal pond into the more natural cavern. There is a ledge to the east and another passage to the west. The walls are covered in a slimy secretion and have crude, disturbing images painted on them. It looks as if they were painted from the compost of the main chamber. The floor has evidence of heavy reptilian foot traffic. There is a concentrated fluid from the compost cavern leaking through cracks in the walls, forming slippery puddles on the floor. The smell in here is somehow worse. It keeps getting worse.
Am I still poisoned?
Yes, you are poisoned for 1 minute, so not for much longer.
Am I able to do a medicine check to unpoison him?
No. Maybe?
No, because it's not really. He's not.
Well, I know
Yeah.
he's not
Actually
really poisoned, but like slap him in the face to tell him to suck it up.
You skilled in medicine? Are you proficient in medicine?
No, never mind. I'm not.
Then I'm going to go no. All right.
Where's that person?
So you guys are right about there.
Oh, good.
And you see a ledge to the east and a hallway to the west.
Allegedly, we can go to the left.
Well, I would go to the left.
Alright, I'm going right.
Splitting up the party. Excellent idea. Twice as much area covered, half the time.
Yeah, perfect. So you guys start heading left, and it opens up into a large cavern. Not a large cavern, because we just got out of a large cavern. A good-sized room. That there is a large pile of bones and waste in the center of this room, and sleeping on top of it is a very large trog. This thing is maybe twice the size of the other ones. It's not quite large category-wise for mechanics, but it's as big as you can get without being large.
Can I sneak over and smack him in the head?
I
want to Gallagher this guy.
I know. I want to assist. I want to sneakily cast Guiding Bolt.
That's not assisting.
Hold
That's
your
doing
spell,
it instead.
brother. I will fairy fire it.
I want to sneak and ambush it too.
Okay, everybody needs to make stealth checks before they do anything, because now you're all a bunch of dwarves arguing about who's going first.
I'm going first!
No, I didn't want to go first. I just wanted to help.
Why is this...
Because you're wearing heavy armor.
I thought it rolled at advantage, because
Oh.
I just saw the 2 dice roll, and I was like, what?
All right, well, you guys are all like arguing about what to do, and you don't even know where Pungent Sky is anymore.
Oh, right.
And
Right.
suddenly you see her off to the side, and she's about to dive on this thing, and then you hear her go, uh-oh. Roll initiative as it stands up, and she looks over at you and goes, Louda!
Hey, Othig, we'll just hang out back here, let them all do their thing.
Dude, I'm like Johnny on the spot with this initiative. I've consistently rolled the last 3 attacks. So. Counters, I should say.
I have a
And
-1.
Why?
popping out of this pile are 2 smaller trogs along with it. They were sleeping under him. And you guys are all in the entrance. Mav was pushing forward to shoot a guiding bolt. Thanok was stomping out into the room. Filbert was going, what the heck's going on? So let's do that. All right, Filbert, you're up first. This trog has just burst awake and its friends came out and you went, oh dear.
Oh dear, I am gonna have a poof of sparkles just kind of fart out on them and fairy fire them.
Very nice.
What just happened there? Oh,
I'm
need to
sorry.
push it up. Oh,
You go ahead and roll because I know you got it programmed in.
potato. So
That's exactly the same rate of success and failures that I had, so we're just
I
gonna...
need to take off Trog 1.
Yep.
And apply the effect.
Okay.
If you, just for the further notice, for the reference, if you roll the effect next to it, it'll automatically take it off of...
Whoever fails.
Or
whoever.
Yeah.
All right, good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I will cast Shillelagh.
All right. Can you? Yeah, Shillelagh's a cantrip, right?
Bonus action cantrip.
Cool. Awesome. Okay. So that leaves Pungent Sky, who looks at the big one and goes, advantage. And runs up and just...
Attack, right?
Yep.
Nice.
Let's see how that looks. Her main hand will definitely hit, and her offhand... That's a nat 20. So
Get
that's
that sneak attack in there. Just
good. Well, it won't crit on the sneak attack because it's not the offhand, but...
Oh, yeah.
See. She will do a total of, 2 5s and a 6 on my 3d6s that I got to roll this round. So she will do a total of 18 points of damage to the big guy.
Good job, Sky. Proud of you.
And, yep. She succeeded her Constitution saving throw against the pungency. Thanok.
I'm just gonna... Let's see. I'm gonna just charge her. I'm gonna go there
Okay.
But as I'm passing Troglodyte 1, I'm just gonna leap in the air and just smack him in the side.
Are you going for the big one or Trog 1?
Oh, Trog 1. He's not the one who has.
Trog 2 has
Yeah.
advantage.
I'll go for the big one then.
Okay. I do need you to make Constitution saving throws against the stench. And unfortunately, is 3
How
of them.
many? 2?
3. That ain't gonna matter. That first one fails.
So,
You will
I
have
have
disadvantage on your attack rolls. So
Okay.
if you attack somebody with advantage, you have normal attack.
Okay.
Nice. Dying. Yep. Man,
Hot dog.
you knocked him right to 0. So he goes down in a pile of Trog.
Pile of Trog.
Pile of Trog. So then it brings up Trog 2, whose only target is Thanok. So it will attempt to claw you and miss. And then it will attempt to bite you. And that's only an 11 on the dice, so it will miss with its claw and its bite. Trog 1 is going to attack... Let me... Even or odd, Adam?
Even.
Even. So it will attack Sky.
No, I meant odd.
No, it will.
Wonderful try.
Sky will dive out of the way of the claws, but she will get bitten by it, and it will clamp onto her. Bites her for 5 points of damage, and then it has her grappled by its mouth. Othig, you're up.
Sweet. Let's see. Where's number 2? Yeah. Go right there.
That'll clobber. 24.
Oh.
Oh.
That'll clobber too. Oh, one more level and that'd be a crit. But you do manage to put it to the ground with your 2 attacks hitting.
One more level?
Yeah, he gets to pick his fighters.
Isn't
Fighters pick their subclass at level 2, right?
No, 3.
Oh, I thought it was 2. My bad. 2 more levels then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in like 6 or 8 weeks.
I
Yeah.
still thought that was higher for champions, though.
Maybe. Mav, you're up.
Mav is going to toll the dead.
Toll the dead.
Unsuccessfully.
Unsuccessfully. Boo. All right. Phil.
Oh, hey. There's only one left, huh?
There is only one left.
I mean, I'm already poisoned, so what's the harm? Get him! At disadvantage, correct?
I don't think you're poisoned anymore. I'd say a minute's gone by.
Okay. Constitution saving throw.
Yep, you do need to make another one now.
Oh, that wasn't supposed to be an advantage, but they were both 18s.
Doesn't matter. And I forgot to make Ryan make his, but that's
Oh,
okay.
yeah. Am I supposed to make one?
All
On
your-
the fringe of that?
All your rolls would have hit, so it doesn't matter. Like, even at your lesser advantage rolls, you rolled really well.
So you
you're
still
good.
need me to make one, though?
I
No,
don't
we
think
just
so. Yeah, because it's dead and you're not within 5 feet of that one, so you're fine.
Okay.
Miss.
Yep, that is unfortunately a miss.
All right. Yeah. I've done everything I can.
All right. Well, Sky turns around and lunges forward with her short sword, and that will hit.
Give him all a good.
Is
And
that
then-
a disadvantage because she's in his mouth?
Oh, it is. No, she's just grappled. She's not restrained.
Get him.
So,
Does she get poisoned?
and then her dagger will hit as well. Actually, why is she using the dagger? She would use her claws, which is, yeah. That's why I did that. It still says dick. Never mind. I'm doing a thing in my head. Sorry.
Get him.
And she is going to tear into him for a total of 12 points of damage. But it is still standing and still has a hold on her.
Oh no.
Thanik.
Oops. All right, I'm gonna try. Fail.
No. So Thanik, you swing and miss, but he's just thrashing around too much with Sky in his mouth. So
It smells so bad.
he clamps down harder on her shoulder, and you watch these two sacks alongside of his neck puff up and then start to drain, and Sky starts screaming and thrashing around, and she's not dead, but she has taken 4 more points of damage, and she looks really sick. Oathing.
Gonna hit it.
Yep, you are. 13 will do. And that will be enough to kill it. So you whack it with your pole arm, and it goes down. Sky it drops her, and she kind of just limps off to the side a little bit, and then throws up. It's a really disgusting sight watching a lizard folk throw up, because they they don't make any noise. They just open their mouth, and it just tons of stuff just starts coming out.
Mav is just gonna go pat her on the back and tell her it'll be okay.
Thank you. I got pook on floor.
It's okay.
You don't get any bonuses to that, Andy?
No,
What kind of healer are you?
you don't get bonuses for that, do you?
Oh, I thought you did.
Oh no, you do. So
Yeah,
she gets another +3. Why did that not?
I don't know.
Okay. So she looks healthier, but she still looks poisoned.
She looks awful.
Yep, she looks awful.
Like the poisoned I just was poisoned, or a different poisoned?
Similar to the poisoned you were, but it looks like it is affecting her a lot stronger.
Oh, because she's not a dwarvy dwarf.
Well, and it looks like it's a different effect. It's a
gotcha.
similar sickness, but this one you feel like is going to last a bit longer.
Okay. Do I feel like with my crafting points I could make an antitoxin? With their saliva and the crap that I have available to me?
Yeah, you could spend 50 and craft an antitoxin for her.
I will absolutely do that.
Okay.
Filbert wouldn't even hesitate.
Okay. So she downs it, and after just a few seconds of drinking it, and it takes about 10 minutes to put the concoction together, so if there's anything anybody else wants to do in this room, you feel free to.
No.
She downs it, and she looks a lot better. Thank you, Clutchmate. Clutchmate, feel bad.
I can't remember. Who did we decide named me? Was it Mav?
What?
Who did we decide named me? Was it Mav that named me?
I don't remember.
Oh man,
how that was.
I just remember it was supposed to be a joke, and then Mom liked it.
So, you guys, looks like this room is a dead end. Just this chamber full of poop and dead troglodytes now.
To the ledge.
Well, actually, while he's making the potion, I'll just do a quick investigation.
Okay. Make an investigation or perception check, whichever you prefer for searching. 11. It's not good, but you do find a bone, a femur, it looks like, that's just huge. It could definitely work as a great club if you wanted to keep it. I mean, there's a lot of different bones of creatures in here and things like that. You find...
You know what? I'm
You
not
should
going
just
to
take
use it, but I'll grab it.
All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should just sell it.
Yeah.
If it's useful as a great club, I mean, maybe we can at least pawn it if it's,
It's
like whatever
big.
amount we can get for it.
No. I mean, honestly, like, you might even use it as decoration. Like,
You have no idea what kind of creature this could have come from either.
Yeah.
Because it's easily as tall as you are. So it's a big femur.
Yeah, no, definitely.
All right. So you're going to move over to the ledge then after all that's settled? All right. So you move over to the ledge and you guys are looking down into a room. It looks like it's a series of cliffs. But on the first landing, it looks like it actually works its way over to a slope. Mav is being sneaky now. So it looks like there's a 20-foot drop to this first ledge, and then another 40-foot drop down to that pile of schmutz down there. That schmutz. Where's the schmutz? Right there. There's more schmutz. Yep. But it also looks like you could walk this ledge over here as well.
Now that almost everyone has marked it.
Well, I'd say that we use one of the ropes that we have to get down the first one.
Yep.
Tie it off on something.
Yep.
All right. You'd be able to find a place to anchor it too, easy enough. So you anchor your rope in and you start going down. What's the climb order on this?
I'd say Othig, Mav, or
Yeah.
Othig, Filbert, and then Mav and Filbert can switch, but one tanky on the bottom, one tanky on the top.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I'm kind of.
All right. So, Othig, you start going down, and I need an athletics check from you at disadvantages. You immediately figure out that the side of this cliff is slippery with oily poo juice. You hang on, but you are able to give a warning to everybody else that this could be bad. To be very careful coming down. So everybody else does not need to make the check for a 20-foot climb down a rope. But Othig had a rough time with it. So you move down to this area. What would you like to do now?
How far down is the next drop into the area?
It's about 40 feet. Or there's a thin ledge that works its way around and then down the tunnel.
How well visible is that little pit thing?
You can see down into it pretty clearly. It looks like it's not overly deep. There's rocks sticking up out of it.
Hey, Mike, can I just shoot a crossbow bolt into the middle of it where...
Sure.
Before you do that, I might touch the crossbow bolt, and it's going to turn to light.
Oh.
Sweet. That's awesome.
It goes about 2/3 of the way in. Just the very end of the crossbow bolt is sticking up out of it, and then you can see it clearly hits rock underneath that and then changes direction and shoots underneath the poop. And there's a part of the poop that's glowing a little bit now.
As it should.
It's a hot
Just wanted to
turd.
make sure there wasn't any foes hiding in there.
Yeah, nothing pops out.
Alright.
I was going to drop a pebble in there, but crossbow bolt works too.
Yep.
Check them very thoroughly.
Should we just take the ledge around and keep going?
Carefully.
Yeah.
It might be
Yeah.
slippery.
We can rope up.
Oh, like, this is gonna be slippery?
Well, the last one was.
No, I
And I'm
meant...
assuming this all goes downhill.
Yes.
Yeah, but we climb down. If we just... This is just a ledge that we can walk around, right?
It still could be slippery.
If it's
And that's
slippery,
a-
I'll try and use create bonfire to dry it.
Okay.
I'm
So-
just gonna light everything on fire.
Why don't we
I'm,
just
I'm sorry.
rope up?
Why is this such a difficult thing? We have like 40 pitons between us.
None
And
of
like
us are
200 feet of rope.
climbers. We may have the climber's kit, but we don't know how to use it.
Phil's got it on his head. It's upside down. It's a hat.
Can I check and see if it's slippery out?
It is definitely slippery. The entire floor here starts to slope downward further into the cavern, and it's coated with a thin layer of fecal slime and troglodyte ooze. You definitely are going to want to be extra careful going down here.
So let's just
Rope up
some pitons.
and some pitons.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So you guys rope up and you use some pitons and you start to traverse this tunnel, and you are immediately glad that you did, because the slime gets thicker, almost like 6 to 8 inches thick in some places, and you're pretty sure you would have easily slipped and slid down this tunnel the whole way into the room. And so you don't do that. Instead, you see, as you're working your way down this tunnel, you see 2 troglodytes trying to be very sneaky at the bottom of this tunnel here in this room. They keep peeking around the corner, and then when they see you up there, they pull back really quick. And you've definitely noticed them, because I rolled a 3 and a 2 on their stealth checks. So
Well,
Yeah, I did.
so I
Where
would
are
say
they trying to be sneaky?
you guys are about here, and they are going to
So
be...
they're here.
Yep, they're down there.
What did they're troglodytes?
Yep,
What did troglodytes? Do they speak?
they can speak.
What do they normally speak?
You would have recognized them speaking Draconian, actually.
I'll yell out to them.
Do we want to yell out to them? Or
Oh, actually,
pretend
no,
like
they
we're gonna
don't.
go
I'm
back?
lying. They speak their own language.
Okay.
I must have got picked up on them speaking troglodyte when I was building Sky. Or Draconian. So, yeah.
Okay.
They speak a language you do not recognize.
Hey, what if can we just pretend to just go back the opposite direction and wait for them around this corner?
Do any of the markings look druidic?
No, none of the markings look druidic. There are no Druish ruins.
Druid?
Yeah. It's from what is the name of that movie?
Spaceballs.
They're all
Spaceballs,
gold Steve
jeez.
druids.
I mean, you could attempt to hide back there and see if they follow you out.
I
I might
do.
drop
'Cause
some caltrops there.
if they come around the corner, I'm gonna take a stab at them.
Andy, caltrops and ball bearings. That way they fall prone on the
Oh, they fall face first.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Okay. You guys lay out some caltrops and some ball bearings, and you do start to hear some noise in the hallway.
Uh-huh.
And then you hear a pained roar in what might be laughing. You're not quite sure what you're hearing, but you definitely hear a commotion, and then you hear them beginning to argue and bicker, and then you hear the sounds of a fight break out, and then you pretty sure you can hear one being strangled to death by another.
That's fine.
I'll allow it.
That's
Then
awesome.
we'll come in and kill the other one. Hop up after they're done.
All right, are you gonna come running around the corner and kill the other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Careful for the caltrops.
All right. Roll initiative.
That's awesome.
Gosh, I love this feat.
Hey!
Go Othig. Yeah.
Yeah, get him, Othig.
So there is definitely a dead troglodyte.
That's so-
And the other one looks up as you come running around the corner, and the only way you can really describe its face is, oh crap. It's just this major look of disappointment. So Pungent Sky will go first, and she will go running
Son of a
around.
dad.
She is going to let go of the rope and attack. Otherwise, you can hang on to the rope, but your attacks will be at disadvantage. So, and she's not going to deal with that. So she's going to make a dexterity check to move through the slippery terrain. And that is not good, Sky. That's terrible. And she slips and falls prone and goes shooting down the tunnel. Let's see. The troglodyte is going to take an attack of opportunity at her as she goes by.
Oh no.
But he's going to... Oh, she's prone. He is still going to miss. So She just goes shooting down the tunnel, and you hear "Bye."
That's awesome.
Let's see, Phil, you're up next.
All right, Phil is going to. Oh, I think he's just gonna create a bonfire on this guy and make him regret his life choices.
Bonfires everywhere.
Heat metal in the caltrops.
Okay.
I don't have it yet.
I know.
Go ahead, roll your damage. Yeah, he fails his dex save, so
And lights on fire.
it's now laying in caltrops, sliding around in slime and ball bearings with a fire underneath it. It is a very unhappy large lizard.
And then I will bonus action Shillelagh
Okay.
just to have it available.
Yeah, I'm gonna hang on to the rope, but just get in range to make a strike.
Okay.
And you said disadvantage.
It will be at disadvantage if you're hanging onto the rope. Bye.
So good.
I needed this. This is so fun.
Hey.
Oh yeah, that'll definitely hit. That's 23.
Hey, hey.
Hey! And for enough damage to kill the troglodyte.
Here it is.
Well done, sir.
Bro.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Freaking love it.
Pungent Sky. Lizard folk, man, they're the best.
Lizard folk are the best.
They're just great.
Man, no thing. Did you get an 18 strength? Wow.
Yeah, dude.
That's insane.
Yeah, dude.
All right. So, let's see. You guys are going to traverse the rest of that tunnel then?
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna go pick up. Bye.
Can we scoop up the caltrops and the ball bearings just into
Yeah,
a
we gotta-
bag?
Gather that stuff up as much as we can. Oh wait, but it's all covered in.
It is all covered in poo slime.
I don't know that we're even gonna be able to find it.
It would be
Yeah,
it would be difficult to find to get it all, but you could. You could scoop up a lot of it into if you have sacks or bags. But it would be.
Let's put them in a different bag.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be poop bags.
Can you imagine that? A bag of holding, just getting on everything else in the bag of holding, and then
What are we trying to collect?
you turn it upside down, and it's just gross.
There was a
Caltrops
slight
and the ball
consensus to collect the caltrops and the ball bearings.
I mean, I could heat them up.
That was actually helpful.
No, sure it is. You just roll around until you find them all.
Ugh. So you take a little bit of time, pick up your stuff. It takes about 10 extra minutes. From down below, you hear, "Where are you?"
Oh, she's.
Where are you?
We're coming.
Bye.
Use
Okay.
your claws.
Okay.
Freaking lizard folk, man.
Use your claws and teeth. They'll help you climb.
So as you're doing it, a little while later, you see her come climbing across the top of the ceiling.
Wait. What if we had an all lizard folk campaign?
That's what I was thinking that earlier.
We talked about that, and we were told no. No halflings.
Who was told no?
We were.
I don't
Mike
know if
was
you
the
were.
lizard.
I was like, I think I said, I don't know if I can write that much ridiculous material.
And then Adam said no halflings.
Yes.
Yeah, I said no halflings.
Yeah,
So-
but if you start writing now, that means by the time we get done with this campaign, we can play that one. I did not mean
One
that
shot,
to come out
Ryan,
the way
one
that
shot.
it did.
Maybe.
That's a one shot.
That-
That's not.
That definitely might be a one-shot night. So you pick everything up and you're moving down the hallway, I'm assuming, to the room on the far end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Gotta go
So
pick up Sky.
no, she crawled back across the ceiling.
Oh, use your claws. That's right.
Claws and teeth that help you climb.
Okay. So, you get into this room, and you've already dealt with the guards of this room. So, the floor here is pretty slick. The flowage, it's slow. I mean, it's not like it's trickling water or anything like that, but there's definitely some movement to it. And this room here slopes down towards two ledges. One more to the west and one more to the east, and you can hear it dripping off the side of this ledge here into a room below.
Cool. Well, let's just check out the closest one, I guess.
Well, there were guards here. Maybe we should check and see if they were guarding something.
Yeah, they were on this corner first, so
Yeah.
point to go.
Yeah, I'll take a look around and see if there's anything that they seem to have been guarding here.
Yeah, sure. Make perception checks.
I'll do an investigation.
It's not gonna matter for me because they both suck.
All right, so you guys, yeah, that sucks. You guys start nosing around a little bit, and as you do, you realize you start catching glimpses into the next cavern below, and you realize both the ledges go to the same place. And it looks like maybe these guys were guarding that room. There's another passage to the north because, let's see, where am I at? Sticking up out of the muck in that room are large, there are corpses, there are bones, and floating in the middle, and that area looks a little more liquid than the rest of the tunnels have, the slime in the tunnels have, and it looks deep enough in the center for things to float in it. There's about 6 or 7 large eggs. You can't quite tell, but they're bobbing just at the surface of this goo.
Does Punch and Sky have any insight here?
Lizard eggs.
Those lizards or a different lizard?
Not my lizard.
Well, meant like the troglodytes.
That does seem to have the correct math.
Okay. So everything's floating in the water, nothing's floating in the sky.
Correct.
Okay. The original thing, it cut out on me and I couldn't tell if you were saying floating in the room or floating in the water.
Oh yeah, no, it's in the poo water. The eggs are floating in the poo
eggs?
water. It's hard to tell. 6, maybe 7.
What range?
What?
What range?
They're out in the middle of the room, so they're not real far from you. But this cliff is 20 feet down to the pools.
Thanek, use your net and some rope, and we can go fishing for some crocodile eggs. You grab a line, I'll grab a pole. We're gonna go fishing in this crocodile hole.
A pole?
Yeah, 10-foot pole.
Do we have a 10-foot pole?
Somewhere in the multiverse, you hear a voice saying, you always should have your 10-foot pole. Always have a 10-foot pole. What the heck's wrong with you?
I'm pretty sure Andy said he bought one, but I don't actually know what's in his inventory.
I can check that.
Because Andy said he was buying a bunch of needed equipment, and knowing Andy, if not, we have a glaive that we can attach it to, and that's close enough to a 10-foot pole.
There is no 10-foot pole.
So disappointed. Anyway, we have some rope and some nets if you want to.
You're disappointed. I'm real disappointed. Gave an entire lifetime to 10-foot pools.
From what I understand about nets, don't they have a real short range?
Sure, but if we throw it out 20 feet and down 20 feet, that's 40 feet.
That's not how gravity works.
Gilbert looks at you and he's sure his math is accurate.
Sky is just looking back and forth between you two.
And she is sure my math is correct as well.
No, but I don't nets have like a stupid range, like a 10-foot range?
They do. I would let you throw it that far. You are, to some degree, Filbert's not wrong. You are up on a cliff, so you'd get a little extra distance out of it. It'd be a difficult hit, but you could net the eggs and pull them up if you succeed.
Yeah, I'll try. Let's attach a rope to
the net.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Andy, no audio. No.
Can you hear us now? Andy?
Well, he can hear us, but
I don't know if he can.
No.
Now,
Yep.
there it is. Cool.
Why does it hate you?
I don't know.
All right, 14, you get really close. You whip your net out there, and it almost lands on the eggs. It's just a little bit further you needed to go. And so
Are we allowed to use the help action for attack rolls like that, or no?
Not for this.
Okay.
There'd be nothing you could do to help, really.
Yeah.
Kick him?
You going to reel it back in, then?
Yeah.
All right, you reel your net back in. You want to try it again?
Try it again.
Yeah.
Worse.
Dan,
Worse.
You're so bad at
Way
this.
worse.
All right,
I'm
Adam.
gonna give it to Othig.
Oh. He's
Oh,
a much better net thrower.
Do you want to give it the net a shot?
Sure. We're doing strength.
Yeah, you gotta huck it out there.
Yeah, it's just a regular attack roll.
Okay.
All right. You guys are all laughing.
I'm so proud.
You guys are like
We
throwing
are
this
capable
net
of
out
using
there
a net.
and dragging this thing back, and Othig's bringing it back in, and you're all talking about how this is stupid. None of us can even throw this net. And Othig, I need you to make a strength saving throw as something grabs the net and yanks you.
I freaking knew that was gonna happen.
I'm so excited.
Freaking knew it.
Oh!
Oh, come on.
And
I knew it that well.
you're ready for it. You're ready for it. And you grab the line and it pulls it and you're like, oh, I got a big one here. You're just yanking on it. And scrambling up this line on the other side is a huge troglodyte. If you wouldn't have rolled a nat 20 on your strength saving throw, the DC on this was 20. So it starts climbing up the roll, and you guys got to roll initiative. This thing has 4 arms and a huge head, and it is easily a large creature. But it's scary and gangly looking. It's very, very gross and disgusting. And it comes flying up out of the schmutz and starts running up the rope towards you.
That's crazy.
All right. So, and Sky rolled a 9 for initiative. And so I'm going to put her right there, and I will put everybody else right behind that. I'm just going to move the whole group in. So, yeah, you guys are up there, and Sky and Filbert and Mavamir are in the back kind of laughing at this thing come running up. So.
Do I get my, do I get to make an attack?
No, because you were too busy not getting pulled off the ledge.
Crud.
Yeah, you were definitely not wielding your pole arm when this thing came flying up.
That's good. That's a good point.
Okay.
So, Phil, you're up first.
Well, if I would have been able to go before it got up here, I would have cast Tangle, but it's already made it up here.
Yes, it is already up here.
Okay.
You wouldn't have had line of sight on it anyways until it crested the ledge.
Gotcha.
Oh gosh.
Looking at this thing, does it look like it might have reach? Does it have gangle factor?
It has extraordinarily long arms. So.
Yeah. Okay.
I totally just now remembered that I can be re-rolling my damage 1s and 2s.
Oh.
Oh, I mean, we haven't run into where it was like dire, but
All right. I'm gonna light a fire under it because that seems to be my MO tonight for sure. Don't have a choice. So make a save. It will fail, and it will start on fire.
All right.
If it ends its turn in the fire, it'll start on fire, and then I'll bonus action Shillelagh.
Okay.
And stand my ground because I feel like it might swat at me. Oh, do I startled? Nope. Okay.
I was actually just about to ask you to roll that one because this thing is really scary. Yeah. This is a scary
Startling.
monster. Othig, you're up.
okay. We'll make my attack.
Be ugly.
Oh no.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh,
So So you swing real wide with your attack, and you know what? It's just a combination of you're all covered in poop on your hands from pulling the poop rope up, and it's just bad. You pull out your glaive, and you're just not good with it yet. So this thing climbs up, and it's going to make 5 attacks.
Holy cow.
2 claws against each of the boys up front, and then a bite that I will determine randomly here.
Boys up front mean Thanak and
Yes.
Othig?
Yep.
Okay.
Thanak, you're going to get hit twice by this creature
Jeez, okay.
for 5 and then 4 damage. And then because it hit you twice, it is going to attempt to bite you, but it misses.
Okay.
And then, that's an at 1 on Othig with a recovery. And then Othig, you're going to get hit by it once for 3 points of damage. And I need both of you to make Constitution saving throws as the smell of this... Actually, everybody, because it's a 10-foot radius.
Oh my gosh.
The smell of this creature is the worst thing you could possibly imagine.
cow.
Wow, look at all those ones. Sky got a 20.
Hey!
Oh, do I get my advantage because I took precautions before I came in here?
No, not on this.
Oh, okay.
No. She just smells way too bad. So, all right.
Phil's fine.
Pungent Sky is okay. She's fine. She's going to climb up on the wall. And
Did it move?
Did it move?
Yeah.
No, it has nowhere to go. It's too big to
Fire!
climb into the cave, so she's got nowhere to go.
Okay, then it will take another fire damage.
Nice.
Oh, yeah!
Ooh, that's real nice. Good damage.
Nice.
And then Sky is going to attempt to stab her and miss, and miss.
Guy's just crawling around the cave.
Mav, you're up.
He's going to attempt to toll the dead. Hey!
Tolling will be successful.
Nice!
Dude has a really nice roll. 11 damage.
Get him!
Solid.
Yes!
11.
11.
Yeah, nice.
Dang, son. Oh, where are you going? It can't reach.
It's okay.
It does not have reach, apparently, because it doesn't reach out, but it sure looks like it almost could.
Filbert's just so used to things with long arms hitting him all the time. He's learned to not run away. Though maybe he should start run away again.
I have disadvantage.
Yep.
So I'm gonna just drop the maul behind me
Okay.
and pull out my shield and axe.
Okay.
So do you have disadvantage?
If you failed that Constitution saving throw, you have disadvantage on your rolls, as you are definitely poisoned.
What was the DC?
15.
You both rolled
I have
one.
disadvantage.
Correct. You rolled a 1. No, Mav rolled the other
No,
one.
I rolled 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mav and Thanak both rolled ones.
I missed.
Okay. And you take a crack at it, and you miss. All right. So that's going to bring up Phil.
Alright, seeing that Mav was able to run away, Phil's going to back up a little bit. He's going to leave the bonfire raging. And gosh, I don't have anything that does a thing. Yeah, I'm just gonna ice knife him. So I'm gonna make an attack roll. Am I able to position it in such a way to not hit my friends? Is that
Yeah,
a thing?
because it's a large creature, so you can put it in the
Okay.
back half of her.
Okay. So the attack roll to hit will hit, so it will take the piercing damage, and then it will make a dex save for the cold damage, which it succeeds, so we'll take half. Hey, it does the
Hey.
thing for you. Great. All right. And then
It did not. It did not take half of that.
why did it?
That's all right. It's easy to fix.
So yeah, you can fix it easy enough, right?
Yep.
Okay, good. And that will end my turn.
Alrighty. Othig, you're up.
All right. Try again.
Man.
Oh.
You feel like you just barely missed this creature.
Do you get to butt swing after you miss with your?
No, I believe you have to hit.
Okay, you have to hit.
I'm pretty sure. You can look that up, but I'm pretty sure you have to hit.
I think you're right.
So, all right. Clutch Mother's turn. So 2 attacks at Othig, and 2 attacks at Othig. You're going to get hit once with the claw for 3 points of damage. Thanik, you're going to get missed and critically hit with the claw.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
For
Jeez.
8 points of damage.
Holy cow.
And then it is going to attempt to bite Ryan, even or odd.
Even.
It's going to bite you. You can attempt to anyways. It will hit you for 5 points of damage, and I need you to make an opposed grapple check.
Oh boy.
You are looking to beat a 22, buddy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this. Nope.
Okay. It clamps onto you around the waist. Its head moves really snake-like, and it snaps out and grabs you around the waist, and then it dives off the cliff. So Sky and Thanak, you can make attack rolls against it if you want, as it goes off the cliff.
Kill it.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you just barely missed it. And let's see, Sky does not have disadvantage.
Is there a rock down below, like in my current trajectory?
I hope so.
It looks Sky will hit her for.
Ooh.
Let's see, that's D6 plus, and it's sneak attack still, so I get another D6. It's going to be a total of it's a lot, 12 points of damage, but it's not enough.
Yes.
Oh no, not that much. It's more. 38 there. There is no rocks that you can see sticking up out of the schmutz. This thing splats in the smutch, and it's on the surface and starting to sink in, and you're still above it, but she's starting to burrow down into it. And we'll put you there. Sky yells, "No! Granit back!" And she jumps down into the slime and goes after this thing. And she needs to make a dexterity check, see if she takes any damage. That's a nat 20. She lands like a champ.
Whoa.
And then she does stab her for not a lot of damage. Let's see what the sneak attack does. Not a lot of damage. And then the offhand will miss, unfortunately. So, all right. Who's up? Mav. Oh no! Oh, it's a saving throw. That's good. I thought that was your attack roll. I was like, oh no, terrible timing. It was a nat 1. Dude, nice! Before it has a chance to escape into the schmutz, Mav blasts it, and you hear the sound of a tolling bell in the background, and it crumples onto the top of it and starts to sink. Othig falls out of its mouth into the schmutz and starts to sink.
Get him, Crumplestiltskin.
Let's toss
Throw me a rope.
Yeah.
The net. Throw the net. You've been so good with it. Throw the net.
Shush. Shush.
Phil's just yelling about the net.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'll toss the net down there.
All right, you toss the net down. Just make a roll. It's not hard to get to Othig, but make a roll. Yes, you are still at disadvantage. Thank you. Oh, that's good. So you got this net business figured out, and you net your clanmate, and he kind of starts to pull himself out of the crud. Yeah. Sky just kind of like climbs and swims over to the ledge, and she starts to help him up as he goes to climb. She's kind of pushing you from below. Dwarves don't like being in poop.
I am also going to use Second Wind.
Okay.
What are you using?
Second Wind.
Yeah, I was thinking about doing that too, but I was gonna find out if anyone's offering up healing first.
I'm out. I don't have any more.
Oh, come on! It
Sorry.
rolled an 8 and then a 7, but it rolled off of the thing and didn't count.
What?
So irritating.
You still get +1.
Yeah, I get a 3, yeah.
Yeah,
Hot dog.
sorry.
I had 1 hit point.
That's so bad.
That was pretty bad.
Yeah.
What do you guys want to do? The clutch mother is dead.
All right, well, I'll use my second wind.
Okay.
Adam, if you drag your ability Second Wind into your actions as a power, it'll give you a heal button. That way you don't have to worry about where you drop
sweet.
it.
About that.
Me too. Thank you.
Yep. I've been learning a lot about this program. There's videos. They're really fun to watch while you're at work.
They are videos.
All right, so Othig, you got a decent look down the tunnel. It does look like over here that it rises instead of goes deeper. But there looks to be a fairly good amount of poop sliding down it.
Did they get damaged being in the poop?
No.
I'm gonna go get them eggs.
You going to climb down and go get the eggs?
Yep.
All right, make a athletics
Well,
check.
We can go around, right? If we go...
Nope, they're both cliffs.
They're both cliffs.
Yep, this cliff over here looks drier. Like, the poop here is definitely shallow enough to where you can see rocks coming out of it. It's pretty deep over here.
So if I climb down and fall in, it wouldn't hurt, but over there it would.
Correct.
Wait, Adam,
Okay.
what did you do? You threw the net out for me so that... What?
So you can climb back up.
Yeah, and you wouldn't sink into the... Gross.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
am I back on the ledge then?
If you want.
You're at the very least, you are down at the bottom holding onto the net. Not
Are we gonna go down that that path? Are we gonna try to go down that path?
Filbert says, hold on a second, this is important. And he's going to climb down the rope and he's going to take the net out and he's just going to fill the net with eggs.
Filbert, make an athletics check for me as you try to...
Climb down the rope.
No, go through this stuff. If you fall from that height, 20 feet into this soft surface, you might get a stinger, but you wouldn't take any damage.
Gotcha.
So,
Filbert's not a very good swimmer.
nope. You get about to here. Where's your token, buddy? Just past Othig. And you start to get up to your chin and poop. And you're stepping... There's a lot of stuff under here. You're stepping on a lot of things as you go. You don't quite know what you're stepping on. It doesn't feel like it's anything particularly sharp, but it moves as you step on it. So, what do you want to do? You're about to succumb to the poop.
Is it corn?
Oh gosh.
It took all night. All night.
I'm about to succumb to the...
It's gonna be over your face.
I'm going to take one of the empty bottles and put it in my mouth.
You filled them with mushrooms.
Oh, that's right, I have mushroom bottles. They're marked as empty. Hold on, I need to fix this. Mushroom bottles.
How about you tell me what you're going to do and fix the mushroom bottles later? Because you're drowning in turd.
I'm going to try and swim?
That's
I'm
what you
holding
just
on-
tried to do.
Oh, I'm holding onto the rope, so I'll just pull on the rope?
Okay. You start to pull back on the rope, and you continue to sink as you're pulling your way back. You're basically in quicksand poop, dude.
Oh, that's good. This is good. I'm in a net. I'm in quicksand poop. This is good.
Yep.
Throw your net over the eggs.
Yeah,
You'll
from
pull
where
your-
I am, I'll throw the net over the eggs and then just like wrap the rope around me haphazardly.
All right. Please
I
make a
hate to
Constitution check.
I hate to ask, but what is the other end of the rope doing?
You have it.
No.
You were pulling Othig up.
Yes, and you went to the other side.
No, he didn't. He jumped off this side.
Oh, okay.
You said Constitution?
Yes, please. All right.
Yeah. Mike,
For the first leg of the pullback, you have held your breath. Please make a second Constitution check.
That's still good. That's not bad.
That's not good enough, though. You guys are pulling, and you watch Filbert go under, and you kind of start to panic, so you're pulling faster, and he's just dredging this trough through the through the sludge, and you pop him up out of it, and he's like, and all this gook just comes down into his throat, and you're gonna take
Nasty.
4 points of poop damage.
Worth it.
Deserved.
How many eggs?
Well deserved.
There are 6 eggs in here.
Big eggs.
Big eggs. They're quite big.
We're gonna make a lunch.
Better be making omelets in the morning.
We'll
That's all
see.
I'm thinking about.
All right. Yeah.
Every time I get eggs, all you want to do is make an omelet. Ryan. It makes me real
Yeah,
sad.
well, because omelets are good, dude.
Hey,
Can we
did-
see from can Oathig see from this vantage point if it looks like the level of poop is lower next to the other ledge than
Yes.
where we are now?
It definitely is.
Okay, so would it make more sense to just like go in that direction or climb back up and to that other?
Well, you know you can get safely down here, but it's deep here, so you'd have to contend with traversing through this stuff, and you and Sky and Phil are now covered. Thanak's probably pretty covered too after wielding that rope, because he would have had to arm wrap it, because there's no way you're just pulling. You're going to slide right across that.
Yeah.
So,
Got
it depends. You can try and climb down the other side, which might be a difficult climb, or you can just jump down here and try and wade your way through. It's up to you
What
guys.
do you guys want to do? Half of us are already down here. Some of us are swimming in it.
One does not want to wade through poop. That's this guy.
Mav is like, nope. I just got these robes,
Yeah.
and nah.
That's exactly what he's thinking.
Okay, well, what if Thanik lets the line out, 50 feet so that I can kind of go along the ledge here, like in this direction,
Mm-hmm.
and make it to where it's just lower, and then he can let go of it when I make it to where I can actually traverse it, and I'll just meet them on the other side.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine. You guys can work it out so that,
Yeah.
and it gets shallower on this side pretty quick. Where Phil was going is obviously where it was the deepest. You feel like
Okay,
it's
well-
deep all the way over to that wall there, and then it's shallow to here.
I feel like that's the narrative of Phil's life. He's always going where it's deepest.
Phil, you did see there were several decomposing bodies in that muck. Several of them were mushroom people.
Oh no!
Myconids. You might have recognized them. There would have been mushroom people in the Fae for sure.
They're the ones running my garden, my farm.
Yeah.
They came to life.
No, these were bigger. These were bigger than those. These were like 6 foot tall.
Okay. I can talk to those.
Not anymore.
Not the dead ones, the live ones. Phil would be really concerned about them, but he wouldn't know what to do. So he's just gonna stare.
Okay. Mav, are you going to try and go down the clean side?
Yes.
All right. Thanik, what are you doing?
I don't even know, man.
Come down by me.
I'll
I'm a tug
follow.
on the rope.
Since I'm already up here, I'll follow Mav.
All right. You guys anchor off, and I'll need athletics checks. This surface is extraordinarily slick.
Yes.
That's good. That's solid. Totally stupid. Oh no!
Yes.
No.
Give me that D10.
Mav, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as Thanak comes tumbling off the rope.
Oh my gosh.
That's good. You shift out of the way and you watch him go, "Wah!" And you
Hey,
are.
Mav. Bye.
That's like you start to yell that, and Sky looks up and bye. She's watching you fall. Thanik, make a dexterity saving throw. You are landing on a soft surface, so fall damage is greatly reduced. And that is enough dexterity saving throw, so it's only going to be 3 points of fall damage.
Oh, come on.
As you splat. You guys just watch him splat on his back right in this stuff and just kind of schmooze down into it.
I'm so proud of you right now.
I am hurting so bad.
I may pull the healing kit out, look at Thanik, look at the healing kit and go, well, we used it already, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just going to put my bedroll over Thanik and say, just take a nap. And I'm going to curl up next to him in the schmutz.
So you're all down there. Make perception. Everybody but Thanak make perception checks for me as he pulls himself out of this goo.
Oh, can we also say that I picked up my hammer? So it's
Yes,
not
sure.
up there?
Yes, please.
Thank you.
That's fine. I just kind of assume that stuff when you do that. It was just funny for me to make Sky ask for her javelin back.
Yeah.
Ryan, perception check, please.
Yes. The one thing we weren't going to assume, though, was that Marlemere was going to pick up his arm after it got cleaved off of his body. That needed to actually be said.
Yes. And Kane got it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because he was like, I have plans for this later.
So, okay. Well, Othig and Mav just think it's too funny. They can't stop laughing. But Phil goes, leans forward and pulls a small gem off of the back of Thanak's sticky. Off of his backside. He's like, hey, Thanak, Philbert, you have found a moonstone. It's not magical, it's just the name of the gem. It's probably worth about 15 gold stuck to the back of Thanak.
Whoa.
I will hand it to Thanak and say, you dropped this onto the back of your head real hard.
Thank you.
Hey, as dwarves, would we understand that there's probably more in here somewhere then? If
Maybe?
like
You
would that
haven't
just be-
you haven't seen any other gems, and this is an uncut moonstone, so it's not been refined or polished. It's a cavern. Might be more treasure nearby.
Oh, it's in the mama's muck hole. Oh, no.
Well, there's probably definitely stuff in there, but not that we can see.
I don't want to go into the muck hole.
Yeah, you should not go.
Move Earth. Effective?
It was semi-effective.
I'm going to try and dredge some of the stuff that's in there towards us, towards the shore.
Okay.
Like dredging.
Then let's see. Make somebody, whoever wants to, make a luck roll. See what you guys pull up.
Who wants to make it? You guys want me to make it?
Nope,
Who's got
there it
it?
already
That was
is.
so close to a 20.
It really was.
It was
All right.
on the 20 and then it rolled over.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a-
So you start dredging stuff and moving the muck around, and this stuff's way more fluid than the other stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like it's spilling back on itself really quickly, but you do manage to snag up some stuff. You get
Okay.
another 60 silver coins.
all right.
You actually pull that off of a body. It's the the flesh and everything's completely decomposed. Most of their clothes are, but there was some leather goods on them that haven't been decomposed yet. Had a pouch on them, and you also pull out a dagger. You see it tumble out as you move some stuff around and you snag it up. It's not magical or anything like that, but it is in a very strange artistic style that none of you recognize.
Just for funsies though, while these guys are doing whatever, I'm gonna ritual cast detect magic.
Okay. You do not detect any magic.
Okay.
But you do manage to find a few other things. There are a lot of bones in here, though. You're pretty sure after moving this stuff around, that's what you were stepping on, were bodies and bones.
Mav, is this architecture of this knife, not architecture, the crafting of this familiar to you by chance?
So, does
If
it
you're
mean
talking about the crafting of the knife, you probably want to talk to either me or Uthik.
like
Right, but you're sleeping and
I'm not sleeping.
what are
I
we
mean, you're
supposed to
close
be
to
doing
dead.
from knowing that this is like a compost, area, and we're finding possibly people's corpses in here. Like people are like being dumped into
Toilet.
No, from
like,
what you've
garbage
seen,
spaces?
no. From what you've seen, all of the filth on this side of the cavern is coming through the cracks in the cavern walls. Like, this is leaking from the main compost pile, and the entrance to this cavern didn't exist until the earthquake. These things have been layering in here for a very long time because of the leakage. It has attracted the troglodytes because it stinks and it reeks, and they like that.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't feel like this is where
the
bodies have been
trogs
being
weren't-
done.
They weren't in the sewer area.
Correct.
They were in the cavern, and the cavern, the sewer.
Yep.
Sewers, so
Yep.
That's
You're-
nasty.
Yeah, the earthquake.
and they liked it.
They definitely liked it.
Well then, dagger friends, can you identify the daggers from Daggerford?
Why don't? I mean, would it be? What would you?
This would be actually a history check.
But, yeah,
Oh, I could do a history check.
Yeah.
Do it. I'll do
Assist.
it at advantage then.
So yeah, somebody give advantage.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage. You
Okay.
get better int than I do.
Yeah, we should iron that out. I should pop up the who rolls what lists.
Yeah.
It wasn't a great roll, but I wasn't gonna give you. You know nothing about the nature of this dagger. Like, you don't know what kind of culture this would stylize. You do know that the motifing on it is very serpent heavy, though.
Let's ask the lizard lady if she recognizes it. Pungent Sky, you use this. Thank you.
You show it to Pungent Sky, and she takes it, she sniffs it, she bites it a few times, and she's like, "This is pretty," and she gives you her dagger instead.
Oh, there you go.
Thank
Good trade.
you. Good trade.
Good trade.
Where are we going?
Past the stink hole.
Okay, so you work your way up the stinky hole tunnel, and we'll
Oh,
get.
are we taking a short rest for Thanek, or are we just gonna let him go?
It's up to you guys.
I mean,
I would like to, but do.
Yeah.
I already put a blanket on you.
Should get your
I'm not laying down in the poop.
You were.
No, I wasn't.
You fell prone.
we can take a short rest.
Okay.
All right.
Do we successfully take a short
Oh,
rest?
that's a
Yes,
valid question.
you go up the hallway a little bit, and you find some drier ground, and you definitely take your short rest. And then we will. It's 9:30, so we will get to the end here.
All right.
Because it is the end.
Da-da-da.
So, after your short rest, you get down to the end of the tunnel, and the hallway starts to slope up quite a bit, and then it levels off. And on the one side of it, it levels off to several cliffs leading down, farther and further and further, well past how far you as dwarves can see.
Can I light
Harem trick
a?
again.
Can I light a pebble and drop it down?
You'd have to throw it because it slopes out a good ways, but yeah, you definitely can.
How far are each one of those ledges?
Adam. Dude.
Jeez.
They're each about 60 feet. The drop
The drop?
between each of those ledges is about 60 feet.
Whoa.
So when you light your pebble and you whip it down there, that's what you see is all of these descending cliffs. And the light from the pebble basically bounces out of how far you can see.
How exciting. What type of area is this? All stone?
This is all sandstone. Like real thick, heavy sandstone, yeah.
Okay. Not moldable to close this off?
No, it would take something significant to close this off. There's also, I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this. There are several grim totems decorating the edge of this top cliff, facing outward, and there's skulls on them, and they're covered in slime and body parts. You'd pretty much pick up on these are warning totems to anything that was approaching the troglodyte territory.
Hey, this is our space, bugger off.
So
Yep.
like further down that way is like their community.
No, you think further down that this was their community. Troglodyte communities don't get very big. They're too savage and vicious to one another to grow very large. You guys would know that down there is the Underdark, and that's real bad. As Kren, there's a huge piece of you that knows in the condition you're in, you'd get killed doing this, but there's also a huge piece of you that just wants to go kill some drow. Because you hate them more than anything else on the planet.
That one even Filbert doesn't like. There's not much Filbert doesn't like.
Mav is going to draw out a map of what we have here.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, turn that light off.
It's gone. It's down the hole.
Right, but can you turn it off so it doesn't attract something from the darkness?
Nope.
Oh, good. I'm just going to leave. I just turn around and leave.
And then you want to draw a map of the area?
Yeah.
Mav? Okay.
I turn off the light.
All right. Which is probably a very good idea.
Note path to the Afterdark or Underdark.
Does Pungent Sky think that we got all the nasty lizards down here?
She does. She would say that she doesn't think there's any left. Because if there were, they would have come to protect the mother.
So Mav's going to make a map, and we can say that we got out of here, okay?
Yes.
But
Yep.
I'm guessing we're going to leave.
Yeah, 1 second though. Thanik, the book, the one that gave you the nightmare,
Yeah.
is this where the shadow comes from?
You don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. The shadow came from a bright place at first.
Oh, okay. Well, it was worth a shot.
Yeah. So you guys gonna head back?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So you head back and you get back out to the more solid turds, and Filbert does his magic and pushes it aside, and bakes it into place, and you guys climb out. And for the most part, you're covered in poop. Mav came out okay. Not great, but okay. There's still a lot of just splash damage going on with this. It's just nasty. And
Mav's just not okay with this.
And all of you, I need luck rolls from all of you as you're walking across the compost cavern back to the docks. Oh, that's a nice one. 8, 3, 16,
Yeah.
1.
Yes.
Mav, no. As you guys are walking out, you hear pss, pss, and then just a pile of stuff comes down right on Mav.
I'm so glad you rolled lower than me.
You made it the whole adventure, and you're happy, you're clean, and you're climbing up out of the dock, and you're getting magic teleported, chamber potted. And it's just like, oh.
Can I absorb the magic?
What?
Can I absorb the magic?
No. You can't yet, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Absorb the poopsmith magic.
Oh, no.
Your magical chamber pot rejects your input.
Yeah.
This.
So I was actually going to ask if there's a place where we can shower off or like just clean up before we get back to town, because I didn't want to walk into town.
Yeah,
and,
no.
There were some very grimy water basins out front. I mean, they're dirty, but they're not nearly as dirty as you are.
Anything would be better than our current position.
So it's funny because you get back to the compost room and it smells better than where you just were. And then you get outside where it made you make con saves and you're like, fresh air. And it's just gross. So you clean up and you head back to town. And
Albert vomits everywhere.
and the walk back is long. And at first you're just kind of downtrodden. And Pungent Sky is like, why so sad? 'Cause covered in poop. And she's just kind of running around, scampering around. And you guys head back. And you leave, and it starts to get funnier and funnier. It's like it was disgusting while you're doing it. And then you're just thinking about it. By the time you get back, it's just, you guys just waded through tunnels of crap. And you get back to town, and the night soilers are all sitting outside on the edge of town because people don't want them in town because they smell bad perpetually. And Helios is there, and he walks up. He walks up to you and he's like, So, what did you find?
I'm going to pull out the contract and show it
Yes.
to him. I say the contract's been completed.
Fantastic. I will arrange payment to be delivered upon inspection that you've done what you say, rather than give you money you might run off with.
Can we?
It's being held. He'll tell you it's being held for you at the government building, so that no shenanigans on his end could be pulled either.
Can we?
I would accept it.
Can we go back a moment? I'm sorry, I'm tired, and I wanted to ask this, but when you made that drawing, were we going to tell him about what we found beyond?
Yes, I'm planning on telling him that he needs, or we don't. No,
Well,
we should tell him that
No, I think
there's
we
a
should
hole.
because he signed the he signed the contract saying that like any additional get. So if there's if we're able to,
Yeah, I don't want him to think that we are trying to screw him over.
Mhm.
yeah.
So we would inform him that the quakes have caused a crack to form.
We
that
should also let
connected
him
to
know
the-
that his poop cave is leaking.
Goes deeper.
Is leaking.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
How do you
like,
think a drower guy feel when they have poop oozing into their kingdom?
Not only did it,
I don't think you should fix that. I think they should just let it keep rolling.
well, because I imagine that probably like affects his, like what they're able to use for take out for fertilizer. If like everything that goes in there is sliding out some other place, like that's probably affecting what he's able to like profit from.
Yeah, he will definitely take that under advisement. And he says, he's like, this is terrible news, but and he gets the smile that rich people get when they're about to make money. The military would probably pay us highly to know that there was a easy nearby entrance to the Underkingdom here.
It's funny because I was thinking the same thing.
Yes.
Thinking the exact same thing.
Yes, my
Wait, your
dwarf friend. So, well, we would make it easier. We'd build the docking further out and clean some of that up. And yes.
I'm gonna shake his hand
So
and tell him.
he strikes a deal with you guys that he's going to turn this over to the military and that he'll split whatever they give him for it with you guys. And then if there are follow-up things that happen because of that, which he's guessing there probably won't be, because once the military gets involved, they will probably do a lot of the labor for him, which he still profits from. But he'll work all that out for you. So in total, you guys will get to split 300 gold for tonight's adventure, plus the other stuff you picked up. And the guild coffers can go up by another 50 because you guys come stomping back to the inn, ready to actually get for real clean. And Grummy and Dal and Fizz are sitting in the middle of this giant group of people with the head of these two lions. And they're talking about how awesome it was to hunt these lions down. And you guys come in just reeking, and they all just look at you and start laughing. And then you guys start laughing, and everybody buys beer. And that's where I'll leave you.
Very nice.
And that is actually 100% how Sky runs, except she doesn't move her arms. She kind of holds her weapons out as she runs static.
Naruto runs on
Yeah.
the water.
So her arms are like Batman, and her legs are like that.
Yes, but that is definitely leg-wise how she runs.
That's great.
100%. So, thank you
So
guys
what-
for...
Nat Geo.